Welcome back to another Angry Coach Marathon. Yes, we're still dragging out the most monetizable method and most renewable resource in all of StarCraft 2, which is players who think they're any good and need specific coaching and or understand that they might want coaching, but really what they want is attention. Because this is the internet, and attention is everything. So I'm glad I could have your attention today, and if so, while you're still awake and able to watch advertisements like this one, smash that like button. Subscribe, whether it's on YouTube or Twitch, which are very different things, and that's a little confusing, but whatever. We got a lot of exciting things lined up for you today, and by exciting, I mean pretty much the same, with maybe a few little twists. Some things you've seen before. In fact, if you watched all of my videos, I mean all of them, it would have to be all of them. You'll see in a moment. Then you've seen it all before. But thank you guys for tuning in for another Angry Coach Marathon. I hope this one is at least... I hope it's pretty good. I hope the players aren't. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you for watching Angry Coach Marathon. We're gonna keep doing this while we can keep squeezing money out of these aging nerds' pockets. Good luck, have fun, and who needs a 401k when you can have less than 400 minerals in the bank? Thank you, good luck, and have fun. Alright, to start things off, we have a, well, let me read the essay here. You might be like, well, what race is it? What league? Let me read the essay. You should already know. Thank you, Bumbleskunk, for interrupting me so generously. Bluntenstein says, I've been only playing since July 13th, which is very specific. Currently, it is September. I assume July 13th of this year. No, July 13th of 2015. I gotta... yeah, I'm an Advanced Plat Terran in Diamond 3. I've been treadmilling at this MMR for about 2 to 3 weeks. Pick any from today or yesterday, which I did. Against a Zerg player, where we're gonna be looking at first. After that, we're going to be doing... We've got D sending in. We'll take a look at that after. We've got a Zerg of slightly higher MMR. The Storm. He said, I haven't played in a bit. That's all. That's all. So, typical Zerg. And then we have this guy who donated double because what he doesn't have an ability to spend in-game, he can spend out of it. And then we have, for September, WinterStarcraft, Slayer's Casting Tribute, Slayer's Boxer versus E.G. Hydra from October of 2012. We're going to be angry coaching this aspiring caster. That should be interesting. So. Gonna take a look. Why is it still... I know Korean is more fun. Okay. Well, we're going to give you a teaser trailer of that, I guess, while we switch the game back into English. Because Jimmy doesn't understand English or Korean, which starts to explain a lot of our issues here. Alright, can we at least get the preview?
Everyone, this is Winter with Game 2 of the Slayers Tribute Casting Marathon. We're going to have, once again, another ZVT, the second game in the series between Idra and Boxer.
Why would you start
and
at the second game?
in the first game, we saw Boxer take it pretty convincingly by hiding his Blue Flame Hellion drop play and just roasting
doing
away
each
everything
game as a
Idra
video.
have. But now, Idra on Teldrene Altar is going to be spawning in the top left-hand corner. We'll see if he can put up a little bit more of a fight against Boxer
in
this
1983?
game. Well, in the bottom left-hand corner, it's going to be Slayers Boxer, the Emperor, trying to see if he can just
really
the
highlight
out in
that
only 2
nickname.
games.
Good job on that. All right. Yeah, well. The energy. We're going to start out at giving a presentation in front of the Parent-Teacher Association, and we're going to just stay at that energy the whole cast. Where were we?
SCV ready.
Ah, yes, SCV ready. And it all went downhill from there.
SCV ready.
Additional.
SCV ready.
How to tell me you're a Metal Leaguer without telling me you're a Metal Leaguer? Is there anything wrong with this? No. I'm sorry. I'm taking from Winter of 8 years ago. 9 years. Oh my god. Might as well, like, we're hotkeying the scout. There's nothing wrong with this.
SCV ready.
But
SCV ready. SCV ready.
Donation confirmed.
Il Rhyme said just donated $15.
there is something wrong with this. Yeah. No. Okay. That is 113. Wait a second. 113. Did he make a barracks? I was zoning out, and then I saw the minerals pop up. 113 means it was like a barracks or something. Yes, he made a barracks. Okay. This is when we have to go to, like... Yeah, that's pretty bad. Like, it's not even in the same menu. Like, maybe we should be queuing up that SCV. He double tapped the B button. I mean, that's not a game breaking. That's one of those things that should never happen, but is not a big deal. It's the kind of thing you do it like 6 times and then it really matters. But just the fact, it does not bode well.
SCV ready.
Build SCV. Oh no. Okay, so where is Bluntenstein? What is the most important thing to be doing right now? With your Reaper in front of the Lings, what's the most important thing? Build SCVs. No.
Confirmed.
Authentic
These you
underscore
already
just
donated.
$30. Choice on 2 or 1.5
Micro. No,
if you
okay,
are
shut
too
up.
angry.
Twitch chat. Oh yeah, we're raising the price because my voice has not been great. I'm still not nearly 100%. which is why we're going to try to maintain an even keel, and I'm just going to have a sharp edge to the voice without raising the energy past that PTA meeting. We're going 20 bucks, even though people keep going, I don't know. I think there's like 5 in queue. We don't really know. The answer was build a goddamn reactor. That's the most important part of your early game build. Any delay on the reactor is potential just outright death. Like, not having reactor Hellions is the biggest possible issue you could have in the early game. I figured out SC2 replay. You have donated literally hundreds of fucking dollars. You could have got the owner, Breath, of SC2 replay stats to personally probably come to your fucking house or at least do a Zoom meeting with you for $100 and figure out SC2 replay stats. But instead, you took a year and a half or whatever the fuck it is to figure that out. Okay. Sign up for only $200 more. You can sign up for my personalized course, which is a YouTube video on SC2 replay stats, and I will give you the hyperlink. Okay, write this down. You got a pen? Yeah, it's on your hand. Okay, http://www. And I'll tell you the rest if you send me a money order for $500. So not building a reactor is a straight up and outright strike here. This is not a accidentally building a barracks. This is a delaying your entire build by every second you're not building a reactor. Killing 2 Zerglings or even 2 drones is not worth sitting here with no reactor. The reason you build the Marine after the Reaper is because you don't have the gas unless you go for gas first. You do not have the gas to get a reactor. So you build the Marine. As you finish the Marine, you have right around 50 gas, which lines up because the reactor takes, in Starcraft time, I think it's less. I think the reactor takes like 36 and the factory 42. Is that the number? Factory's 43. Reactor is 36. So that 6-second difference is the 50 gas it takes to build a fucking reactor. Unfortunately, you don't have a reactor. You have 1 kill on the Reaper. Whoop-de-fucking-do over here. Now, when 3 Zerglings come across instead of 4, you still won't have any fucking Hellions. Wow, this is really bad. No, this is like as diamond as it gets here. This is, I really need to stress this though, because occasionally we try to actually help. And since you seem to actually be playing, this is by far, if you watched any Angry Coach, you've heard me say the Reaper is a photographer. He forgot Queens. Yes, who gives a fuck what Weeblord over here is doing? We're still not at the point to worry about our opponent. Like, micro your macro. More shit counters less shit. He's got 470 minerals. We have no reactor. Whoever actually does their build will likely win the game. So right now, matchmaking is working. I'm about to give... If the factory finishes before reactor, that's strike 2. Because literally, like, this is the kind of thing you cannot do. You will not get better. You will not pass Diamond 2. You will not collect 200 MMR. Not against Zerg if you're just microing your Reaper into not having a reactor. Yes, I have did a very bad job this game, and I accept the shame cast. Shut the fuck up. Stop being a sniveling bitch and pay attention.
SCV ready.
There's the reactor. Okay, so this bunker is...
Large
Thank you, mods.
for 15 months. I need the rest of the URL to be as shitty but with less hope lol.
No URL. The bunker here, we both know, is an admission of, wait a second, I forgot my build, I have too many minerals. Yeah, but the bunker does nothing. What do? What is the best option here when you forgot all this? You build a third CC in your main. You do what every other Terran does, or pro Terran. You just build a third CC and you hope they don't attack you. Because you're not going to have any Marines. You have nothing to put in the damn bunker. It's just a waste of money. Third CC is your best long-term option to make up for your failure. No. Don't come over here like I was actually going for a Widowmine build. My ass. It was actually a Widowmine. No. Your best option is to get back to whatever you were doing. I build Marines and do a Widow drop. You tell me right now whether that is because you forgot your reactor for 4. It's something I've been working on. Fucking Beyond. I don't understand. Like, this is in all respect to Beyond because he's such a fan favorite player. But, like, I don't understand why people don't treat Beyond like they treat Parting. Like, people look at Parting builds are like, oh my god, fucking Parting is insane. I would never try that in a ladder game. Beyond is the same way, except worse. I guess it's just Terrans. Like, Beyond has these builds that even for him are, like, so ridiculously micro-intensive that they barely work.
178 is chilling
Like,
for 15
in fact,
months.
they seem overly micro-intensive sometimes. Like, watch Cure. Not Beyond builds, Cure builds. Okay? Beyond builds don't even work for Beyond. Especially against Zerg. He, like, I don't know what he's doing with that. Like, he's doing these, like, ghetto Viking medevac builds. Build fucking Hellions and a Banshee, and now you might not have been around, but we've done that for 11 years. Okay? You know what I bet? Let's test something here. We're gonna just continually reference. This is Slayer's Boxer versus EG Hydra in 2012. What build does Boxer do?
Pumping out those Hellions. We'll see if he chooses to hide them until he has 4 or goes with the first 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes
Boxer's
with the first
going
2 this
reactor.
game.
Yeah, it's
Because
tried and
Idra
true methods.
Probably knows what's up at this point, and here comes Boxer moving those Hellions out. He just wants to
Oh,
roast
look,
away
is it
as many
reactored
Zerglings as he
Hellions?
possibly
How
can,
could I
deny
guess?
as much creep as he possibly can.
A
Before that
decade!
speed starts to kick in and drive back those Hellions if Idra uses them effectively. Now Boxer continuing to create Hellions. We'll see if he switches it out with the barracks and chooses to go for the blue flame once again. Now, few of the slow Zerglings gonna get caught. Boxer gonna be able to take him down with that Infernal Pre-Igniter right now. Or, wait, what do you call him? Infernal Flamethrower. Infernal enough. But oh, are they actually...
So, maybe don't try to rewrite the history you don't even know. And, go Hellions, you son of a bitch. No more of this. Like, you can't even remember a reactor. You can't even drop your fucking reactor in time. Don't get out of here with medevac openers. Fuck off.
Ready. SCV ready. Want a piece of me, boy? Where? SCV ready.
What are you scouting for? Don't worry about your opponent. Like, he's got a third. He has Ling speed. Roaches. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you going to change your build if he goes Roaches? You're not building anything while you're scouting. What are you going to do if he goes Roaches? Nothing changes. He has a third. He has Zergling speed. Build shit. I would try to get a siege tank. Maybe let's try to get anything. How about that? Let's start with building anything, and then we'll worry about what we're building. All right? Before you send the fucking Reaper in, as just because your squirrel brain remembered that the Reaper exists, like probably a queen tapped the Reaper on the shoulder and you just completely change gears. I imagine that's what's happened here. Like, you need to have a build. Just whatever the build is, it doesn't matter what your opponent's doing. Well, it does matter. You know why? Because you're not going Banshee. You're going for a
Use
stupid
suspect
Widowmine drop.
detected.
Maybe against
Your dragon
Protoss.
tree is chilling for 22 months.
But
Hey, why is Kybrit only getting $20 replays?
because Kybrit is not good with his money and we're out of game.
SCV ready.
Ready for dust off.
Yeah, like, the Widowmine drop... Opening Banshee is your safest method. Hellion Banshee. What the fuck are you doing? What is this? What is about to happen? What do you think is about to happen? You don't even deserve to have that many units. Well, that little mine drop did nothing. Or maybe it did, who knows. So, do you want to know how you know it's Diamond League? So you'll probably be moving up a little quicker than your opponent. But, no. In the top right is some of the story. But in the top left is the real story. Okay? This is not a fucking turn-based game. I know. A lot of you pretend like it is, whether you know it or not. A lot of you are like, but Total War is my favorite RTS, to which I say, is it though? Please discern the top 3 things. The top 3 things are like, have basic self-awareness and the ability to feel shame.
I messed up in
And the third one is give me more money.
Please
Thank you,
discern for me
Kyber.
the top 3 things I need to work on in the next 10 games.
Ready for dust off.
Yeah, like, this is where you want to be, for the most part. We've just kind of struggled our way to get no more Hellion drops. Stop it. Just go like, wait, let's look at that Boxer build. All right, here's a build.
Any queens back in the main. Looks like Marine play that we saw last game, but will Idra be now a very
Okay,
strong
Blue
attack
Flame
Marine.
Hellion's
Does he
not
still
as
have
good.
Marines? He does not have Marines in the bunker. Idra has seen this attack, and now Boxer's gonna have to deal with a run by the reactor.
Did he not wall off? He has... Look at Boxer over here, making 4 depots in his main with no wall to his natural. Okay, my casting might have been mediocre, but not even walling the... What the fuck is this? Alright, Diamond Leaguers wall better than this nowadays. But the times have changed.
Ready for dust off.
Research complete. Add-on.
I get it. You're macroing. Okay. I might argue that the best time to look back in macro is any time but when you're stepping onto creep. You know, what else could you have done here? Not much, besides pick up. I don't mind this, never mind. That was pretty good. And then you go right back like you're surprised that that happened. It was good until you did that. Okay, like, it looked like you wrote them off as dead, and that would be accurate. But then you come back like, oh shit, are they dead? It was something I pressed, probably. Well, we've already seen you have a tendency to panic and double tap keys. We saw that earlier. You probably double tapped, like, your production keys, and it went back to your barracks. I was complimenting you, but now that I know it's an accident, that's less complimentary.
Somebody, get me out of this mess.
Ready to go. Ready
for dust off.
I think I actually hit space, which is... I would unbind space from last alert.
Mineral field.
Is that tank stuck? Oh. Classic Terran tactic. No, you didn't solve the long-term issue here.
Is under attack.
Oh yeah, the upgrades aren't super late for everyone, but... You're building so many Marauders. Like, way too many. No. Okay, explain to me. This is the hallmark of a Terran who has no idea what to do and just wants to dig themselves into a larger hole. Why would this do any damage? Why does this double drop do any damage? What is keeping him from just slamming it down and knocking out 20 supply? It almost did, then I lost in a corner. Because of corruptors. Oh, did you know we had corruptors? No, you didn't know we had corruptors? Okay, next question. Are you actually blind, or do you just pretend to be? I don't think I did. So you don't think you knew we had corruptors. Okay, let's take a look. Alright. That's an interesting statement to me. Uh-huh. Alright. Yeah, that's an interesting statement you're making.
We could use some help.
My point is, when you send out a drop like this against someone who has corruptors with nothing else going on, all he has to do is jam on that select all army hotkey, which he's the only thing he's fucking using, because he has one hotkey, because he's essentially a platinum leaguer. When you give him the opportunity to smash that F2 key and go somewhere, he's gonna do it. And that's why when you split off a bite-sized amount of bio into the medevacs and send it off to death, it dies. Because two medevacs full of units aren't gonna do any more than 4 medevacs full of units. They're just gonna die and be even more sad. I said I'm advanced plat. Don't come in here and be like, I know I'm bad. I would like coaching. And then be like, bro, I said I was bad. We already talked about sniveling. I'm replying to chat.
Mineral field. Upgrade.
I say hypocritically a little, but it's my chat. So, I lean back. Well, so if you send out 2 medevacs to each direction, like Big Gabe, then yes, it might do damage. Because look, literally every single bit of 130 army supply is staring down these 2 medevacs. So if instead of, like, because when you bring out a 4-course meal, do they just bring out all 4 courses? I don't know. I don't eat at these fancy places. But I assume not. Otherwise, it'd just be a meal. What you've done here is be like, here's 2 medevacs. Now you send out, here's 2 more medevacs. How kind of you. There's no reason. There's nothing stopping him from F2ing. Like, you're barely making that much supply in the time it takes to lose it. You're not making any gains here. How crazy. You were doing okay, right up until you started thinking too hard. Like, wish I could mass 3 units and A-move as Terran, but no, I gotta split versus everything. Oh, so you're not just a sniveling bitch out of game. Good to see you're embracing Terran fully. Alright.
Get the fuck out of here!
At least you're consistent. Yeah, I was salty. Why? Because you fed him? Because you interrupted your own build order? Did a mediocre follow-up? Didn't consistently produce units? And then split off bite-sized amounts of medevacs for him to enjoy one course at a time? If at some point, before he got Broodlords, which was like 8 minutes of the match, you would just put all your units together and attacked, then you probably had a better shot. But when you forget upgrades for 3-4 extra minutes, when you can't even stick to your own build order, like, and then you decide to throw yourselves in, like, let's be honest here. After the first fight, you wanted to say this. And you did everything you could to make it true after that. GGWP. Feels like you didn't feel like it was a GGWP, you stupid whiny ass son of a bitch. But I don't know, maybe. Maybe try playing some Zerg, see how it goes for you.
Base is under attack. Upgrade.
You're just as bad as me, which is why we're matched. This is this is why people make fun of Terrans, okay? Alright. Like, you're over here carrying on your whole... He probably doesn't even... That looks like not even an English-speaking name. He's probably fucking Peruvian or something, and most of his English is trash-talking people in Dota. And, who gives a shit? Like, you're over here monologuing about how the world is unjust and Terran is so hard, and that's why Terrans are most of the top 10 of all, but like people who aren't Maru or Cure or Hero Marine or Clem or any of those players, like, it's very hard for them. Wow, what a bitch. Shame on you. Where?
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Well. Negative. I'm gonna give that a negative 38%. That's what the numbers I'm getting here. Forgot Euthermal and Euthermal's like 28th. Euthermal is pretty high on the wine to rank ratio.
Now I have your attention.
The problem is,
Pyramid 3 is chilling
it's
for 5
just
months.
enough grains
Winter,
of
thanks
truth
for angry, Coach.
coated in a significant smothering of whining. But yeah, Euthermal is quite an outspoken Terran.
Oh,
Thank you, Alorindor.
Is that all?
Pyramid
Aller
as
Inder
well.
is chilling for 1 month.
Yes. Subscribe and you can give me money. Alright. Special was higher on the wine list? Yeah, but Special's whining is more fun because his English is not as amazing. I mean, his English is perfectly fine. It's just the accent makes it a lot more fun. Unfortunately, Dutch people essentially speak English better than Americans, so it makes it less fun.
Oh, good. Now
I use
have
what?
your attention.
Who's underscore what is chilling for 44 months?
The Storm.
Can't think of any puns. Maybe
A
next month.
Master Zerg. Let us see. Having a good streak lately. Haven't played. Wait, was this the player who said they hadn't played in a while? Last game, September 2nd? Or did I not click on that one? No, that's it. Wow. I haven't played in a bit. Please be gentle. September 2nd. It is currently the 5th. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Here's losing to a Terran, just so we get a full circle here. This is literally there hasn't been any angry coach since. Okay, we got to get all these Terran. The storm. Yes. Okay. No, no. The shallow learning AI is not working very well right now. So, we'll describe Master Zerg, but lower masters. Big issues are usually the issue is either with not adapting the unit composition. Like, this means just never getting to late game because you never start a hive. Or forgetting one major aspect. This could either be just having enough larvae. A lot of players will either be good at creep spread or be on top of their injects, but not both. Or it could be not getting basic upgrades in time, or unit upgrades. Like, that is why, including myself, most Zergs at this level, or near this level, will lose, especially in the mid-game. Like, there'll just be one big missing part, and that missing part ends up being very important, especially against Terran. Like, I'd say more so, like, last game we saw from a very much lower level Terran. It was a lot of little things. Terran is usually, and at this level, a lot of little things, rarely one big thing. That's what makes them feel so justified when they whine, because they're like, I did nothing wrong. Yeah, but you didn't do much right either, but...
Protect your drones. They're all they have. The queen
Is that the stone announcer? Wow.
is spawned.
Alright, I was thinking, like, well, who the hell? Alright, so in general, this OV, more than one OV on the map, like, on their half of the map, is asking for them to get killed. It can pay off, but rarely will, at a higher level, AAHL, rarely will players send out more than one OV to the other side, just because it's very likely they'll be sniped off within the first 6 minutes or so. Usually Zerglings stand in for the early scouting. Like, with the second OV going to, like, here at furthest, and then the third OV, usually either covering one of these areas or just at the front. Now, this is a little more stylistic than anything. But something to... If you find yourself getting OV sniped off, that's just general.
Your queen's done. Your drones are getting roughed up.
Okay, so this is the part of the game where we'll determine how it's gonna go. We got 176 gas, 700 minerals, 6 larvae. This is time to get tech, a lair, and maybe an evo chamber too. We've gotten this far, but it's pretty clear we're not going for any sort of early all-in. So at this point, the gas and getting the spores is necessary. The fact that no Hellions have shown up, that means he's doing one of those stupid Beyond builds. Very likely, at least. Like, if you don't see any Hellions here, and there are no Hellions on your side of the map, it's likely going to be like a 2-1-1 or some other shit. So a 2-1-1, when well executed, hits at 5 minutes. A 3-2-1-1, which is 3 CC 2-1-1, hits at 5:30 to 6. It's a little, that one's a little harder for non-clems to pull off. Thank you.
Alarinda just donated $20.
but
Coach
you gotta
Plaza
aim for
Gold
about
Z
5 minutes.
feet.
That means
Special
queens and links.
guest.
Right now, after this round of drones, if you're recognizing it correctly, you should be building a bunch of lings, because something's coming out. Yeah, it's pretty sus.
Your queen's done hatching.
And it looks like round of lings, baneling nest. Yep. Maybe needed more lings than that, but it goes for the main. Okay, so, and here it is. Here's your issue. 10 larvae. Not supply block. Layer's done. Didn't add any more into gas. You gotta... The money needs to be spent at this stage. This is for both sides. Like, look at the Terran. This is supposedly Masters, High Diamond, you know, whatever. Fuck it. Whoever spends their money during this stage of the game, during, like, the early mid-game, is going to have a huge advantage. Because neither player fucking realizes how little they're actually doing right now. Just starting the upgrades is good, but neither player is making any workers or units. All you have to do is anything, and you'll be ahead. But it doesn't even really matter that much, as long as the Marines don't straight up break through and kill everything. And they're not going to. Like, whoever actually fucking does something is way ahead in this game. Whoever builds workers, whoever builds another couple rounds of units, even though there are units fighting, it's almost like it's a real-time strategy game.
Your forces are under attack.
And there we are, starting some. Like, the creep spread's a little lacking. Overlords are now getting sniped. I don't know why this overlord... Like, what are you gonna see that you haven't already seen? This is the... It just felt like something... You know what? For once, you're gonna see something. This overlord had no purpose until he slapped down 2 more factories. Which, what the fuck? Like, the Flex Terran. I don't think you actually saw the 2 more factories, because who does that? Going with the full... He's playing Zerg over there. Well, honestly, you can kind of just ignore that. Even if you don't see it, it's still... There's not... maybe getting a Roach Horn or a Hydra Den. So, this is why you want an Overlord, like... Oh, how many times has Brenda told us about getting creep spread to the main? Okay, this has been, like, Tasteless's #1 Zerg talking point since 2010. Whenever, like our toasters just let Tasteless step in and say, gotta get that creep to the main. Unfortunately, unlike in the good old days, as you can see here, people usually got their creep to the main. But, sometimes when dealing with Blue Flame Hellions, that was an issue. So nowadays, you don't usually have that issue. But here we are, 9 years later.
Many Hellions, he doesn't have any banelings yet. There are no more spawn crawlers, and so...
And then bad things happen if you don't have creep.
Your forces are under attack.
Because the queens are supposed to be enough to defend. Otherwise, the Terran feels like he's a pro gamer by doing what he's doing right now. Yeah, this is actually really rough. Okay, I know it sounds crazy, but you're allowed to build, like, Hydras or even Mutas. Oh my god, he's going Blue Flame Hellions. It's coming true. No, the answer is not to kill off another dozen of your drones with spines. The answer is to get creep and split your units. Oh yeah, baneling speed is more important than +1 carapace. +1 carapace provides +1 armor for your units. Baneling speed gives banelings, I know it sounds crazy, speed, but also +5 life. So between those two things, it is way more relevant than getting +1 carapace. Not getting baneling speed is a huge... Like, this is... I was talking about there's going to be a glaring issue. That's the glaring issue. More than anything else, the baneling speed. Also, who goes Blue Flame Hellions after going for double medevac? Okay. Alright. So, you know what? It was a real sloppy early game. Honestly, this does look like if you played... Instead of 10 games a week, if you played 25, like I recommend for Diamond. I know this is technically Masters, but it would be fine-ish. Like, there's a lot of little gaps, but for getting or not getting baneling speed is a big issue, but this looks just kind of sloppy, but it's the right idea. So now, you realize you're dealing... After this attack... Now... My optimism here is you get an infestation pit before committing to an attack against a mech Terran. But we will see.
Your brood is initiating combat.
Yeah, the getting it after that, like, as soon as you see the Neo-Steel bunker, maybe it's time for a hive. Alright? Like, not after failing to kill a planetary.
Something's done. You finished up.
So, like, lurkers need gas as well. Banelings should... Like, sprinkling in a dozen banelings at this point, but you don't go banelings. If you're going lurkers and hive, you don't go for dozens of banelings unless you need them. Banelings are, as soon as you buy a baneling, it doesn't gain any value. Like, it can't continue it only attacks once. So you want to build banelings as close to when you're attacking with them as possible. If you're not currently about to die or currently about to attack, there is no reason to just have a bunch of banelings. Like having a dozen or so just to have as part of your army. But when you build 30 banelings, you're at 50 fucking banelings, and you're not attacking, you're just sitting there without anything. Like that's another several... That's like 10 more Hydras right there. Let alone lurkers. You're not even mining that much. Like, the reflex to build banelings should be only at 200 supply. Like, once you realize this is going to be a longer game, you don't build more than like 20 banelings until you're at 200 supply with the army you want, because they gain no value. They're quite... the cost really adds up. It's 4 banelings is 100 gas. So right now you're over 1,000 gas of banelings. 10 lurkers sound like a lot better than 40 banelings right now. No, but 6 more banelings though might make the difference.
Enemies are picking up the creep tumor.
How about 14 more baneling? Okay, what is this? Fucking Wings of Liberty? I don't know. Let's see.
Finishing up Stim right now and continuing that medevac production. He does have a reactor there, and a couple of the speedlings are going to try to run by the bunk and be paying attention to what needs to be paid attention to. And now here comes Boxer. He's actually taking the supply lead right now. The army supply looking very strong.
No, I just super dead. Blue Flame Hellions. Pretty good against Lings and Banes. Who would have thought? Okay, so you need to stop doing this. Let's look at the units lost. Oh, I should have... You know what? We're going to have a quiz at the end. Okay, so currently he's lost 3 times as much. Since we don't have the right observer UI, we can't see the split of minerals and gas. But that's already bad. But Twitch chat sub opportunity for September, 20% off, yada yada fuck. So right now we are at 3 times as much. We're gonna round up to the nearest. You know what? So how long is this game? This game is only 2 more minutes, and he loses. So, what can we do here? The current value of the army is approximately 8,000. Total resources lost Zerg. We're gonna say 18 to 20k. 20, and then of course going up 20 to 22, 22 to 24, or 24 plus. Jimmy, put it on the screen. We gotta... There. You have 30 seconds. And if it's less than 18, I'll give 3 subs to the people for predicting poorly. So I think we're about to see an experience why banelings are not really your be-all, end-all here. The people say 22 to 24. All right. Okay, so the reason you get hive tech for lurkers is for the lurker upgrades. Oh wow, the snipes. Wow. Alright, we got 3,000 gas. We got 3,000 minerals. We got 800 gas. What do we build? We're up against Blue Flame Hellions, Ghosts, and tanks.
Forces are under attack.
You might be like, well, what do you build, Winter? I don't know. Anything involving hive tech? Oh, and no GG. Fuck you, no GG. The total, by the way, 25k. You get nothing. You underestimated how many more Zerglings he would lose before the game ended, and how many of them would be banelings he would also lose. Like, he really just invested even more. So yeah. Oh wait, I didn't give a hope score to either of the last 2. It's been a bit. Jimmy! Why is it so bright? Ah! Alright. So, for our Diamond Terran, I'm gonna have to give it a B. For 1, sniveling bitch. And 2, because his build was pretty okay, it's just he's turning into a whiny-ass Terran. Like many Terrans, he had a good foundation, but then let it fall apart because his ego is too large and his multitasking is too small. And then for our Zerg player here, it's a B+, because it really did look like, with more games, you could iron out the early game, and then if your early game is strong enough, you can go mass baneling. You will still lose to whatever fucking weird-ass mech switch Terran eventually does, but like, you can get quite far with just the heavy mid-game Zerg. In that case, it was a real messy early game that it didn't need to be, but it was. Honestly, I want to give it shame. But it was all right. He really just did a straight up, not really a hard turn, but he veered hard into the mech, and that does catch people off guard. It was a strong, like, just cut across several lanes into the mech lane there. All right, what do we got? We got this guy. This guy. Who's a diamond Zerg, so... Okay, so a few things. One, don't do this. Two, he actually is cannon rushing. Wait, I thought I sent one in? Yeah, but did you send it in before this guy? Oh, I'm sorry. When it says 5 in queue, does that mean 0? Are you a Terran? Like, but I thought I was next because I'm the most important. Oh, he is Terran. Okay. So it is a cannon rush. So you don't pull 3 rounds, is the first thing. You pull at most 2. Unless you, like, 100% guarantee he's cannon rushing. In which case, the focus should be on getting a spawning pool quicker, usually. Oh, you killed the probe. Where are you going? What are you doing? Okay. We killed the probe. No. Okay. So what is this threatening? What are these cannons going to do to you? Are these cannons going to kill your hatch? Are they going to, yeah, what are these cannons accomplishing? But, there are cannons! Yes. So, what's stopping you from making a spine crawler? Right here. So the answer to everything here was to make 1 spine crawler right here. Maybe 2 if you're scared, which you obviously are. Instead of having idle drones and chasing a probe, the answer, you killed the first probe, and he didn't even send a second probe. That's how incompetent he is. The answer to this whole game is to make 1 to 2 spine crawlers before any cannons are in range of anything. And then you win. Or at least you don't die. But if you look on the other side, he has a gateway. So it's not like he was super committed to this idea in the first place. He already assumed he had failed, but you've helped him walk the narrow path to success here. So congratulations on that. Nope, that's a little late. The first instinct should be, because the reason why cannon rushing Zerg has to be so dramatic is because of the creep. Once the hatch finishes, you can't build cannons in many of these locations. As soon as that pool, which was already late, and if you see him making pylons, you don't need gas, because Zergling speed isn't going to help much. Spine crawler. Nope. Not spine crawlers for dramatic effect. Spine crawlers for... It's already too late. Once he starts building cannons, it's already too late there. Oh my. No, you can't move because he can see you then. No, that Overlord's gonna be chilling there for a while. So this is already a total disaster, obviously. The thing is, the reason if you're facing a cannon rusher in Diamond, you can be pretty confident that they're not a Protoss who cannon rushes. They're a cannon rusher. So it's very unlikely. Like this guy, he's going +1 ground weapons. He doesn't have any ground units. Like, I don't know what he's doing, but he's pre-cannon rushing other bases. He has no plan at all. His follow-up to cannon rush was... That was it. The entire plan. Like, he just handed over a binder with 600 pages, and they all said cannon rush.
Base is under attack.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at the Protoss, who's now pre-cannon rushing a bunch of bases. Yeah, the rabbit. So you've made... This is the correct response. What is this? Why is there a spore crawler here? I don't know. Maybe void rays. No, maybe not. And even if it was, just build more queens. I guess a competent player would go void rays by now. And he could have. He could have. If he didn't go for +1 ground weapons and fucking stalkers in his main, he could have built a Stargate by his cannons and like, if he had watched one pro player, like if he had watched any Haz game, Haz would already have like Tempests in the main or something. But it's not Haz. So we've touched on every single response to Cannon Rush. You've done everything you need to do against Cannon Rush, about 38%. Okay? We pulled the drones. We killed 1 out of 2 probes. And a couple pylons. We built spines. A little late and not in the right location. Now we have Zerglings. Not enough. And Ravagers. Not enough either. So you gotta pick, like, when you're dealing with stuff, he's very committed. Commit to something. The ideal is to stop it before it starts. You shut it down with drones, which you did, and then you build spines. Before he can build cannons. That was completely possible. You didn't do it, and now here we are. Okay, alright, he hit his own overlord. Does he kill the Ovi? Does he kill his own overlord accidentally? Yes or no? 5 subs for the bounty. I like how I put Ovi with an E. Very proper. Alright, the people say yes. The people say yes. So, if he kills the overlord, this has already happened, then 5 subs for the people. He's getting a little more particular about his aim here. But here come the stalkers, gonna make things hectic again. He's gonna accidentally box select the overlord, it'll die to a cannon. And I'm gonna count that, by the way. Just FYI. No, the answer is no. You guys are so confident. He realized barely in time. Okay, once again, make a fucking decision. Are we going for roaches? Are we going for hydras? Or are we going for nidus? You have 3 more workers than you fucking started with.
Just donated $20.
You cannot go 3 different directions. You can barely go 1. Like, you've covered it. Yeah, you got a little bit of everything, which means you're going nowhere. Like, even if it works, it's only because this Protoss, like, he's so inexperienced. His plan is so underdeveloped. He doesn't even have Void Rays. When was the last time even a Silver Leaguer got cannon rushed and there weren't Void Rays afterwards? Like, what is he doing? Building fucking stalkers. That is so little of a play. Everyone builds Void Raid. Like, I'm pretty sure people who don't even play Starcraft know you're supposed to follow up a cannon rush with Void Rays, or at least the one with the fancy beam thing in the trailer. I don't think there are any Void Rays in any of the trailers, but it's called Legacy of the Void Ray, isn't it? Okay, well this is fucking happening. Alright.
Mineral field depleted.
What a disaster. Oh, the Nidus network. The host disconnected from the server. The host is reconnecting. Please, oh.
Did you build it all in the main? Just another replay to send in.
Well, no GG. Shame on you. I mean, this looked like a very... What is this? Advanced Platinum? Yeah, Advanced Platinum. Oh, it is Platinum, actually. A very Platinum response. You covered every response to everything. And you committed to exactly 0 of them.
Subscriber detected.
Rumble Force
So,
chilling for 24
that's like
months.
a C+. What a name. Oh, Hype Train incoming, a scam train. Remember, if you subscribe right now, I get more money. So make sure to get in on that. Here's what we'll do. Next person who gifts a sub, we're gonna do art time with Winter. Also, shame on you. That was like a real weak shame, to be honest. But it's still shame. Next up, we're going to have, well, after art time with Winter,
Ronucon has gifted 5 subs to viewers.
we're going to be doing Winter reacts to Winter casting from my first. It's in my first few days of casting on YouTube. It is like my 4th cast ever. I picked it because people should recognize Boxer versus Hydra, so like those are some names. I mean, I'm pretty sure that's why I picked it back in the day. But thank you, Deej. All right, for this Hype Train art time. How old were you? I was 9, going on 9 years younger, so that puts me at just about 60. Deej, what are we drawing? A picture of me and you.
Donation confirmed.
Peruvian Swarm just donated $20. Sad to make units and still lost. What else should I do?
Thank you, Deej. All right. What else should we draw? Ronican gets to choose what's up next. Gifting 5 subs to people. Thank you, Peruvian Swarm. We only got 3 minutes left. A Void Ray. All right.
Oh, a follower. Is that all?
The Wraith is chilling for 13 months.
New subscriber detected.
Janaski_4 is chillin' for 32 months.
Void Ray. All right.
Good. Now I have your attention.
Omate Spice is now chilling.
Someone else who's in the hype train. A T-Rex. That's me a little more. This one goes out to all the people who couldn't tune in your stream. Okay then, how? Okay.
This one goes out to all the people who couldn't tune into your stream today.
T-Rex. Wait, it doesn't have to be animals. Why are we doing animals? Draw a massive clown?
Hawkfeather_ just donated $20. Coach me harder, daddy.
Thank you, shut your traps! What art would you like to see? Oh, happy little trees.
Shut your traps has gifted
All right.
5 subs to viewers. Sumoy has gifted 5 subs to viewers.
Oh, a follower. Is that all?
Brett1224 is chilling for 19 months. Woo woo.
We've got 4 minutes and 10 seconds.
Idiosyncrasies has gifted 5 subs to viewers. Blundenstein has gifted 5 subs to viewers.
Oh, a follower. Is that all?
Age of Dune is chilling for 3 months.
Oh, a follower. Is that all?
Marijani Sheep is chilling for 6 months. Looking forward to falling asleep to your screaming.
New subscriber.
That's what they all say.
Doused 5 is chillin' for 23 months.
Happy little trees. Wait, quick. We gotta get that cloud in there. Another art hype train complete. Good job, everybody. Ah! My eyes! Ah! Okay. And now time. And now time for what you've all been waiting for, which is Winter reacts to Winter in 2013. I'm sorry, I said 2013. I forgot that I actually started uploading casting in 2012. So, I've been playing Starcraft 2 since 2010. I only got a PC that could even hope to record any sort of video or audio, and remember, the standards were much lower. In around 2012, which is when I started streaming as well. We're here, a handful of years later. We will be getting back to Angry Coach, but first we're gonna Angry Coach me. And I will, I have hand selected. This is my, like, 6th or 7th video ever. By hand selected, I mean I just brought it up. We have, Slayer's Boxer versus E.G. Hydra.
Alright, welcome back, everyone. This is Winter with Game 2 of the Slayer's Tribute Casting Marathon.
Why is your face
Gonna
on the
have,
screen?
Once again, another
How
ZVT, the
pretentious.
second game in the series between Idra and Boxer. And in the first game, we saw Boxer take it pretty convincingly by hiding his Blue Flame Hellion drop play and just roasting away everything Idra have. But now, Idra on Teldream Altar is going to be spawning in the top left-hand corner. We'll see if he can put up a little bit more of a fight against Boxer.
This is the highest quality, right?
Well, in the bottom left-hand corner, it's going to be Slayer's
720p,
Boxer, the
they
Emperor,
said.
trying to
Doesn't
see
look
if he can just close
terrible.
this series out in only 2 games. Alright, now Boxer, last game he was able to hide that strategy from Idra, but Idra probably will not be so easily duped this game, and not quite as good of a map to do that same strategy. He's not in great positions to execute any drops into the main base.
Oh yeah,
of course,
4-player maps.
Zerg players are always a little bit stressed out about a tank push that occurs at their natural, where they can kind of abuse the cliff to hit the high ground with their Marines, dropping some Hellions off on top of the siege tanks behind, and there are no siege units for Zerg at that point, so it's very annoying to deal with. We'll see what strat Boxer chooses to go with. He's not choosing the wall off his front. He's instead getting the depot a little bit further back, not even caring, knowing Idra will not be going for that early aggression play, but instead we'll just be playing it out.
Would you guys like to learn about
Boxer
every
just feeling safe
build
to get the barracks
at
a little bit
one
further
time?
back in his vein, a little bit more economically feasible, and allows him to make those add-ons, to make anything else he wants, because
Well,
in these positions
have I got
it's
the
actually
caster
tough.
for you?
Add-ons for the Terran player are sticking out, where they're very vulnerable to Zerglings running by, baneling attacks, roach attacks, so on this map you really don't want to have your add-ons vulnerable if the Zerg goes for any early pressure, and it looks like Boxer just going to follow up with that gas on 13 right after the barracks. No one-rax expansion for Boxer here. Probably going to go straight into that Reactor Hellion play we saw last game and try to just
Reactor
deny creep
Hellions?
from
What an
Idra,
outdated
maybe kill
build.
off a couple workers, see what he can do early game, and then transition into that Hellion Marine play that Slayer's Terrans are just so fond of. Now Idra choosing to go with the hatch first. Sadly, well, actually, it looks like the first Overlord is going to be going in, and we'll see what base Boxer's at. So a little bit of a win there for Idra. Gonna have that early intelligence that he
Does
so
Mono
needs.
Esports still
While Boxer
exist?
just choosing to wall off with some supply depots at his natural.
Not an SC2.
Boxer sending out his SCV in the wrong direction, just gonna check for the expansion. Of course, he could have no idea where Idra was at the beginning of the game. He had
Some
a
big
33%
name
chance of
teams
sending it
that
the right way.
started in
And just kinda
SC2,
sucks
you
for
might
him that
know.
he didn't. But checking the expansion, seeing there's no
EG
hatch
and
is going to allow him
Energy.
to move up to the cross positions, but once he sees the Overlord, he should be able to figure out exactly what's going on. And the first Marine, looks like Boxer actually going to want to put on a little bit of pressure with that first Marine, maybe kill a drone or two, force him off the line. If the SCV was in range of the hatch a little bit earlier, maybe he could have thrown down a bunker, put on a little bit of early pressure, but that pretty much, just because the SCV was not scouting in the right direction, is going to be stopped for the time being. No Boxer, going to finish 2 Marines and start up the reactor to switch to his factory.
Is that a solo cup?
The first Marine coming up, going to take a couple shots at the Overlord. Here comes the SCV.
Actually,
We'll see if he wants to
straight
create a bunker,
vodka.
but now that the hatch is finished, creep is already beginning to
Probably
spread.
water.
Looks
Oh
like this
my
is just
God.
for scouting, especially now
Oh
that
yeah,
the
I was
first couple
poor.
Zerglings
Look at
are
the
on the way.
quality.
A single Marine, not especially effective. Once you get up in the 3, 4, or 5 count, maybe some slow Zerglings
Please
won't
subscribe.
be as much of a threat. But Boxer will see absolutely everything that's going on. He'll count the gas. He'll see speed is about 20 gas away. And he won't be worrying too much about early Zergling run-bys like he might have last game, where Idra went for that gas first build.
What's that wall?
Now, Boxer just going to wall off with that command center. Going for the exact same build we saw last game, the reactor Hellion expand, only a single gas geyser. Pumping out those Hellions. We'll see if he chooses to hide them until he has 4, or goes with the first 2. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes with the first 2 this game, because Idra probably knows what's up at this point, and here comes Boxer moving those Hellions out. He just wants to roast away as many Zerglings as he possibly can, deny as much creep as he possibly can, before that speed starts to kick in and drive back those Hellions if Idra uses them effectively. Now Boxer continuing to create Hellions. We'll see if he switches it out with the barracks and chooses to go for the blue flame once again. Now, a few of the slow Zerglings going to get caught. Boxer going to be able to take him down with that Infernal Pre-Igniter right now. Or, wait, what do you call him? Infernal Flamethrower. Infernal enough. But oh, the actually any queens back in the main. It looks like Idra tried to wall it off. Boxer has now a couple Hellions, and now he's going to choose to move them in. The drone's starting to line up a little bit right now. A couple slow Zerglings will stymie him for the time being. Idra trying to split his drone so he takes minimum damage. These queens struggling to make their way back onto the creep so they can effectively deal with these Hellions, but speed has not kicked in quite yet, and that's a lot of drones lined up. But it's like just enough slow Zerglings will be able to deny this, but he's forced so many Zerglings already. It looks like Boxer's done already the damage he wanted to do, but oh, a Spine Crawler. Is he actually going to take out not a single Hellion? Boxer doing an amazing job of keeping all his Hellions alive, and he's barely lost anything. He's lost an SCV, he's killed a lot of Zerglings, and he forced a lot of, he's forced a lot of Zerglings right now. Speed will kick in for the single Zergling, but he's not quite going to be able to take out that Hellion. It only has 2 HP remaining. That's a single Zergling hit right there, but well done by Boxer. He's just going to force him to take his expansion, and at the same time, getting his blue flame, building a starport. It looks like he's just going to go for that same Hellion drop Marine play that we saw last game, but will Idra be prepared for it? He has a decent chunk of speedlings on the map. This is a map where it doesn't really come as a surprise. He's going to have to go by the watchtower. He's going to have to go by some overlords if he wants that drop to be effective. And right now, Boxer just forming up to make more Hellions. That's pretty much what he's been doing all of these games. Has the reactor on the barracks just because he switched out from the factory. And his Hellion count's looking pretty strong. 6 Hellions against 8 Zerglings.
The whole strat is blue
struggling
flame
to move that drone count up over 40. Just now going to make it with those 3 drones, bringing him up to 43. Another Spine Crawler being made to prevent a run-by, but that will do absolutely nothing if that medevac comes into play right now. A couple Zerglings looking to counterattack as soon as Boxer moves out. He doesn't have the watchtower though. A couple Blue Flame Hellions will be able to hold it. Now Idra will see that Blue Flame has entered the field and will have to account for that. He's got the Baneling Nest on the way. A Roach Warren might be the safe bet, but I don't know. Idra, a pretty stubborn player, might not choose to get that Roach Warren. Instead, maybe just try to deal with it with Speedlings. That might not be the ideal situation.
Pretty stubborn player.
Yeah. And the Marines inside. Hellions as well on the ground, being much faster than the medevac. No reason to put him in there. But now a very strong attack coming in. Does he still have Marines? He does not have Marines in the bunker. Idra has seen this attack, and now Boxer's going to have to deal with a run-by. The reactor has come right back onto the factory. He's going to have Hellions popping up, but right now, Boxer simultaneously executing a drop while there were Zerglings in his main, but here comes the drop right now, but there's a Spine Crawler kind of denying it, targeting down the medevac. It looks like the SCVs are forced to be pulled to deal with the drop shot right now. He's just targeting down the Spine Crawler. The Spine Crawler going to get at least one of the Hellions. But here come more of the Zerglings. How many workers have been lost? 18 workers have been killed right now.
Just lost
18
Idra,
not a single one lost of his own. But is this just too many Hellions? He doesn't have any banelings yet. There are no more Spine Crawlers. And suddenly Boxer just starting to do a lot of damage right now. Looks like the Zerglings have finally been cleaned up. And now Boxer doing the damage in the main. There's no Spine Crawlers here. Well, single Spine Crawler in the middle line. The banelings will be eaten by the Marines. But there's still 6 Blue Flame Hellions to deal with. One will get targeted down. down right now. There's only the Spawn Crawler and 4 Speedlings as he moves into the Gas Geyser, roasting away a couple of the drones, just doing so much damage right now. Workers killed 20 to 6. Idra's still in the lead.
There's a lot
We're still looking
going
at
on.
43 workers to 22, but how is he going to deal with these Blue Flame Hellions? All he has is Zerglings and Banelings, and no Banelings have been morphed quite yet. The Speedlings look like they're going to take out another Hellion, but that still leaves 4, enough to easily one-shot the pack of drones right there. And Boxer doing so much damage, more Hellions making their way up into the main as the Queen struggles to make their way by. Oh, roasting away so many drones at the same time in the natural. More Hellions of Boxer going to make their way in. Some huge hits coming down, but the Speedlings look like they may be able to just deny it, but Boxer keeping on the pressure. He's still continuing to make Zerglings. Oh, one last Hellion in the main. Looks like it will just barely be taken out by the Queen, and yes, the Zerglings will clean it up. Let's look at the damage done. 20 workers killed by Idra, but that very clutch counterattack, while Boxer still looking at 29 to 40. Not a terribly bad spot with 2 command centers right now. He's continuing to pump out Hellions, and as I say that, he's not actually making any Hellions, but I believe he will as soon as he has the money for him. He's up to 4 barracks, finishing up Stim right now, and continuing that medevac production. He does have a reactor there, and a couple of the Speedlings are going to try to run by the bunker, but the army there will almost instantly deny it. A Hellion moving out just to scout. It is faster than those Speedlings off creep, so he will be able to, well, it's at least fast enough to escape from the Speedlings off creep. So he will be able to deny any Zerglings scouting.
A lot of damage, but Boxer just didn't have a wall, and he lost 20 SCVs.
For a timing where suddenly Boxer, he has Marines, he has Hellions, he has Stim, and all Idra has to deal with it is Lings and
That's what happened in this game.
But right now, Baneling speed about halfway done. If he can finish that up and he gets Boxer on the creep, he can clean up an attack like this very easily, but where are the Lings going? He saw the dropship, but now he has to go all the way back to his main. He kind of missed it for the time being. There's no way Boxer's going to drop that off on top of a bunch of Hellions. He's a very strong player. He's always going to be paying attention to what needs to be paid attention to. And now here comes Boxer. He's actually taking the supply lead right now. The army supply looking very strong. 37 to 9. Oh, he's going to drop the Hellions off, and he's going to be denied almost instantly by the Zerglings.
What is that? Is that a low ground? Oh my god.
This is a map where that valley is still in play, so he's able to roast away a couple extra Zerglings right now. And
How did we decide that was a good? It's like this is why Terrans won 50% of matches for a year.
He's going to be in a great position to deny these drops as soon as those Mutilas come out. Boxer is struggling to bolster that Marine count. The medevac being driven back by the Queens. The creep spread of Idra just now being started up. He has a single Queen spreading creep, but here comes the attack of Boxer. 11 Mutilas on the way, but there's so many Marines on the field. 25 Marines and 2 medevacs, easily able to deal with 12 upgraded Mutas. Now that they have Combat Shield and Stim, he needs to split perfectly, though. Idra does not know this attack is coming in quite yet. There are no Banelings on the field and only 18 Lings. That might not even be enough if they are all morphed in the Banelings, but here come the Hellions. A couple being targeted down by the Mutas. He needs to pull those back. Oh, not a single Hellion lost. A single Muta will get taken out. Banelings desperately being morphed behind the army right now, but Muta's going down left and right. Here comes Boxer, and suddenly there's no Banelings on the field. Every single one of the Zerglings getting evaporated. Here come the Blue Flame Hellions. Here come the Marines, and what is there left for Idra right now?
He has no
There are only 8 Mutas, and there's 11 Zerglings on the field. Suddenly Boxer moves in. GG, and that's it. And he's able to do it again. Boxer takes out Idra 2-0.
All right. Do we want to watch the... Well... There was a lot to say. Both... Honestly, I think the... Oh yeah, remember how we started games?
Subscriber detected.
Omnify is chillin' for 2 months. Much excite.
Honestly, I think if the audio quality wasn't parting in 2020, then it wasn't so bad. Like, for my 4th cast of we've gotten different over time. There's some value in, you know, if I could tell Winter how his voice would feel in a decade, maybe a little less, then maybe he would calm down a little bit. But knowing him pretty well, he wouldn't.
Carrier has arrived.
And his name is John C.
So, yeah.
Are you kidding me right now? Are you kidding me right now?
This was also in this man's defense. Nobody really knew how esports casting, at least in English, was done yet. More does not necessarily equal better. I definitely was of the idea that you need to just keep talking. Like you're filling the time. And that is true. I will say, to this day, just keep talking. But like, to an extent, okay, there's value in not always talking. Though that was a relatively action-packed game. Did you make the decision to make this more than a hobby? Well, when I got a sub button from Twitch, which was a much more involved and dramatic process, and also partially like just people getting grandfathered in, which I wasn't one of them. But I got about 200 subs in the first day, which was a lot because this was before Amazon ate Twitch and there was Amazon Prime. So then I was like, and then after a few months, it was enough that I could. It didn't seem like a bad idea. Yeah, I think there's a lot of. I think I'm enthusiastic now. I heard myself giving a lot of credit to these players. This was before I was ever Grandmaster. I didn't get Grandmaster till near the end of Wings of Liberty. Maybe it was Heart of the Swarm even. So at this point, I'm just thinking, these players are gods and they know way better. And honestly, while it looked kind of silly, the game, like, it was relatively similar to what we saw in that Diamond Terran game from Bluntenstein. But yeah, things have evolved dramatically. But this is why I do love and hate. I love making fun of Terrans. We're like, oh, the game is so hard, and it's so hard to play against the other races when they've been doing the same builds for a decade. Like, literally, not figuratively. Like, we just saw reactored Hellions against our. Yeah, there's slight details, and maybe he should have gone Banshee instead of. Well, he did win the game, so. But yeah, I think it's still, even with the slower start, SC2 obviously a very there's a lot of reminiscing here. I didn't actually cast regularly. It wasn't until I think we'll go a little further down the list. But it wasn't until about, what, 2017 that I started casting regularly? I mean, I did cast, such as it was, but yeah, I've been seeing a lot of people like, you should play against Grubby. Grubby switched from Warcraft 3 and Heroes of the Storm, as you know, he was a legend, to Starcraft 2. To that I say, you guys like parting as well, right? Well, here's parting versus Grubby.
Charge out Archon right off the bat and just break up the ramp and make sure his opponent doesn't get a third. This can be a good map for Charge.
Let's see what that match looks like.
The Colossus are kind of stuck in a tough position to deal with the Zealots, but we'll have to see. No, it looks like Grubby going for Blink. He wants that micro potential.
Yeah, that's an interesting camera angle. The Zoom meeting angle.
Blink, and I hear a Warp Prism.
And also, why is your face on the screen? Always an important question.
A Stalker, 2 Zealots, making sure he can't.
So audio is better,
making
though.
Sure that the Warp Prism isn't really a threat right now. And Grubby will be taking his third base first. He still only has a single robotics facility, but he was able to take out Parting's other, so he'll stay on a linear amount of Colossus less than his opponent, at least for the time being. Looks like Parting has remade his second robotics. He realizes the importance of having that Colossi count. A single charge not going to make his way up to scout where his opponent's army is. Grubby
How many Colossi do you have in your Colossi account?
Of Parting is on the way with 2 more Colossus. I just feel like this entire game, Grubby has somehow been keeping his supply up, but Parting just has the unit composition that's made for winning the Protoss matchup, the Protoss vs. Protoss matchup, and right now Parting's just building up to it. Once he has 2-2, he's going to go up to 7.
Remember when PvP was whoever had more lasers?
They have 2 upgrades, they have double the damage, they have double the armor, and by double the armor I mean 2 more armor upgrades than their opponent. Grubby somehow keeping his supply up, but suddenly everything he had
I
to
see
deal
we've
with
been
these
doing
Colossi
poor
is
math
gone.
for
And
a
we see
decade
another
now.
Colossi fall as the Immortal bashes its way through. Parting not in too much of a better supply than his opponent. Grubby making a good warp in with the charge lots, might be able to put these Colossi back. More Archons coming up, but actually Grubby is going to be pushing it back. Can Grubby turn it around right now? The Colossi coming up, the charge lot's doing a lot of damage. The Colossi keeping their way.
No, more Colossi
Grubby
is way too
only has
much.
the 3 Colossi left with another
What a
warp in.
mess
He might
this
be able to tank
matchup
this.
was.
Where's the closest pylon for his opponent? Parting. Parting doesn't have a pylon anywhere close. He's forced to retreat. If Grubby can remake this done, but still Grubby is down in the army supply. It's 76 to 55. The upgrades are 2-2 to 1-0. Grubby's still looking in such a tough situation.
Another
I can't believe
4-player
he's
map,
actually
by the
come
way.
back this far into the game. A fleet beacon is now being created.
Does the game just end?
Now
What?
being created for
Does it end?
Parting.
What? Oh, I think I know. Ah, yes, there are 2 parts. Because not only was I not partnered on Twitch, I wasn't partnered on YouTube. So that means you only have a max of 15-minute videos. I'm not sure if part 2 was ever uploaded, that one. But I had like 3,000 YouTube subs. Or something. So that video has 147 views. So, well, it has a few more now. We'll never know. Does Grubby turn it around? I don't think so. That was definitely trending towards Parting. He had more laser boys. Well, so. Honestly, most of the issues, I like to think I despite Jimmy, focus a lot on production quality. Maybe less than consciously over time, I realized how much that matters. But that was a couple months after the first cast. I think we developed a little, and now we're here. Yada yada. Now we're here. So, speaking of which, we're back to Angry Coach. I hope you enjoyed that trip down memory lane. And now we're gonna continue much more cynically, but with essentially the same stuff. I know. Actually, we need to raise the price significantly. Oh, yeah. Very important. We're not in this for the passion. We're in it for the, it's $30 a piece. How many do we have? We got the trickiest one. Wow, that was 2 hours ago. We're taking fucking forever on these. And then Deej, and then It's Gray, and then Ill Rhyme Slayer, and then Deej is trying to get 2 on that. Oh, I thought it was just one. And then Kybrit, and then this is way too many. Oh my god. There's like 8 of them. Not, oh, 10. There are 10. Okay, we don't, okay. Jesus Christ. Alright, well. Here we are. Okay, we already did the storm. We already did. When you gonna Angry Coach AoE 2? I said we'd do it. Alright, so these are some names. So Trickiest Terran was, I believe Trickiest Terran was up next. Are you telling me you're the Diamond Terran? XXX my ass itch. I'm just want to confirm here. I'm the Terran, yes. Okay. Well, here we are.
SCV ready. SCV ready.
The fuck was that?
SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Alright, so
Command center
no
upgrade.
scout.
The Grand Reaper. SCV ready. Pause. SCV.
Fuck you. Fuck you. GLHF right as the Reaper comes in. Go fuck yourself. I missed it. Why do I get a strike? Your name is XXX my ass itch. Which is like... there's nothing wrong with it, but there's also very much nothing right with it. And then this is why in Pro League they weren't allowed to type GLHF. Like, we're 2 strikes here. Like, you should just get a strike for being Diamond Terran. I feel like every Diamond Terran has earned it, but that's a little racist. So, we will see.
SCV ready.
Alright, 3cc. You saw he was going Twilight, and you're like, well, I guess I can do whatever I want, which is a bold move.
SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Command center upgrade.
SCV ready. Want some?
Command center. Our SCVs are under attack.
SCV ready.
This is quite a talkative game. You don't know the half of it. That's okay. We're going mech.
SCV ready.
Additional supply depots required.
SCV ready. Ready to raid. Systems go. SCV ready.
Additional supply depots. Research complete.
The classic attack into supply block timing.
Mineral field depleted.
Everyone knows the best time to attack. Like, you need to free up supply because otherwise it's too costly to build more
Additional
depots.
supply depots required.
SCV ready. Ready to raid.
Additional supply depots. Add-on. Mineral field depleted.
Okay, we got another stick supply block into attack timing. Free up that supply. There you go. Like, at some point you need to build tanks. And that point is usually when they have about a dozen immortals. Yeah.
Base is under attack.
I guess it worked. So that means it's good.
SCV ready. Systems go. Ready to raise some. SCV ready. Raise some hell.
Mineral field depleted.
SCV ready.
Additional supply. Additional supply. Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted. Yes.
This is a thing, by the way, at this level, because the Protoss has no ability to put units in other places on the map. If only he had the technology to warp in 4 charge lots anywhere else, then this all crumbles. For those Protoss wondering how this is a thing. But if the Terran player can jerk himself off with his Cyclones over here, then your ground army actually does struggle over time. The counter is to make him look anywhere but at his Cyclones. Even then, the Cyclones are not incredible. Like, at some point, you usually do actually need tanks. As you can see here, when he had to look anywhere but directly at his Cyclones, a lot was lost. Some salty days. Yeah, well, that was a bad replay to send in from a player who was mostly looking to show off. Congratulations. Yes, he's mildly salty about Terran. I give you a B because the macro was pretty solid. The build wasn't great, but we all know why that was sent in. Moving on. Oh yeah, shame on you, though, by the way.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Another drop.sc. So drop.sc is SC2 replay stats, for those who don't know. It's just designed for people who don't want to put the effort in to actually use SC2 replay stats. So what that means is we prejudge those people as just sending in a replay to show off the replay as opposed to trying to actually improve. That's what we saw last game. Here we see Deej. Now, Deej is a little bit of a different case. The GLHF as a Reaper comes in as an A+ strat. I say this, like, if you think about it objectively, and just from a strategic perspective, I think the best response to that is for you to go fuck yourself. But if that's, like, whatever you're interested in doing, I think you'll probably do either way. Another plus 10% Terran? No, we'd have to go into the negative. Alright, Diamond Protoss.
Your probes are under attack.
No, you don't want to rally that one. It's going to be late then.
Glory to the Daemon.
That pylon. This is a fuck it pylon. And we both know it. Usually you want to put it on the inside of the Nexus so that way it's better protected early on. Though he already expanded. You could have gotten your tech before microing the Adepts. Easily. Like, we both know. But we're doing Adept micro.
Research.
So what did you do? You killed 6 probes. You now have 1,000 minerals. How many probes did you build while microing those Adepts? Let's see. I don't know if... Were you consistently building probes? It looks like maybe. But what else were we doing? Very little. I fucked up the shade cancel. So this is the part of the game when you need to spend... Well, there you go. At least you found a way to spend it, I guess. Honestly... Small mistakes? No? Okay, you can't just have everything. You might get away with it. It's better to overexpand and get punished than be over defensive and not need it. Eventually, you learn to rein it in just enough to have the maximum economy. Where's the Templar Archives? Templar Archives by 7, like, Templar Archives 100 supply. Do you not have any, did you not start any upgrade? Oh my god. Forge, 6 minutes, Templar Archives 100 supply. That's a good general balance. Where's the Templar? Templar! 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 Thank you. Also, sir, who the fuck is this? Who the fuck is this? Hmm? What are they doing here? Explain this. Who let them in here? This reminds me of Florencio having no skins except for the forged forge. Just the stupidest fucking thing.
Mineral field depleted. We're running out of minerals back. Upgrade.
Okay. Maxed out 2-2. No. You want to attack before worrying too much about static defense. No. You attack now. He has this base. You're at 200 supply. Every moment you waste from here on out, you're potentially losing an advantage. You're maxed out. You're not going for any other tech besides upgrades. And if you look at his army, you see he doesn't have better upgrades. So there's no reason not to attack now. So, this base exists for the future. For posterity. Yeah, this is a terrible fight. This is about as bad as it's ever gonna get. Why are you casting force field? Yeah, that was about the worst fight you could have ever taken. Here's what you do. You make one warp prism. You warp in 4 zealots to his main. Imagine, there are so many things in Diamond that are solved by warping in any zealots to their main. Like, fucking egotistical, whiny-ass douchebag Terrans, and also everyone else. The solution is warp in anything to his main, and then he presses his 0 hotkeys. Okay, he has 1 hotkey. You know what? Credit to him. But you know he's gonna use the Select Army. He goes back to his main, and then you hit him in his 5th base, which you think is his 4th. You don't attack into the best concave he could ever have. That, like, obviously, it's not even a strike, because, like, the results speak for themselves. That was about as perfect as it could ever get for him. And like, more shit still counters less shit. Except you didn't have more, you were both maxed with equal-ish upgrades. At the end of the day, more shit counters less shit. And the fact, like, I didn't want to give it a strike, even though it was, because obviously you're macroing just fine. But the answer is not attack in and forget the top left exists. The answer is almost always at 200 supply. Warp Prism in the main. Most of the reason Protoss has been patched several dozen times in just Legacy of the Void is because of the potential of Warp Prism in the main. Warp Prism in the main is what most of Protoss late game, not end game. Oh my god, he walled off. How did this even happen? How long has that been there? Like, he can't even get back to his main because of his goddamn shield battery. But Warp Prism in the main is most of the late game strategy. There's no reason to take a fair fight. Or an unfair fight. Maybe this will remind you. I like the gateway count. How did you lose another fight? Don't you come down that ramp into a concave. Alright. Yada yada. I mean, taking fights when you're up on bases and even on upgrades is the right move. Like, okay. Alright. How diamond? I actually need to see. Rarely does it matter exactly how diamond it is. But... Alright, that's bottom of the barrel. Alright. A minus. If it was diamond 1, it'd be like a B. But diamond 3 is A minus. Like, Warp Prism in the main might make it an A. Yeah, the upgrades were late. The easily distracted, but none of that will keep you from moving up. Like, all right, what is this supply blocked masterpiece? From It's Gray. Enter any general tips on build order or unit comp. What should I focus on? Both of those sound good. Alright, so what happens here is yada yada yada. No spoil. Do not spoil. Alright, Twitch chat, sub opportunity. What is it? Tanks. You know what? Barracks. Factory. Starport. Which of these production facilities causes this disaster? No spoilers, Gray. Like, the units from which of these? Let's find out. We're saying the majority. Well, obviously, there'll probably be Marines. And there will likely be units of each facility, but it looks like the people are leaning towards the factory. It is gold, which is a pretty safe bet. So 5 subs to the people, if they're right. Okay, so no, that's not the build. That's one too many gateways. I think no, you don't just get everything and then expand. The reason you don't have the money to expand, the reason you're like 200 minerals down, may very well be because you built 150 minerals of gateway and 75 minerals of assimilator that you do not need. If
the numbers don't lie, and
so,
they spell disaster for you.
Notice what happens when you build 2 gates and then try to expand is you can't fucking build shit. So here we are. Just like, notice how, in order to build out of both gates, we have to cut out either probes, tech, or, well, warp gate is priority 1, not priority 4. It's priority 1. And also, I do like the scouting we did. This is the typical, like, well, I scouted. What did you see? This is the better of 2 options for scouting at this level. Option 1 is, oh my god, my opponent exists. Build cannons. Oh my god. Option 2 is, I scouted. Anyways, like... No, 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 no. This isn't they are billions. Like, yes, pylons for spotting are important, but not more important than, like, probes and tech. Eventually, we'll get those pylons with a decent build. No, stop it. All right, how many times? The pylon, efficiency, and necessary infrastructure safety. Emphasis on the E. All right, like, first off, having this pylon, okay. This pylon, okay. The battery, could be close to the mineral line. But these pylons are doing nothing but spotting. They're not doing that well, and they certainly don't need more help. Strike? Now here's the problem, it's gold. Like, the fact that he's expanded, used Chrono Boost, built a Robo, and gotten some units in a timely manner? Like, it's not gold. He's not gold. It's, like, for diamond, this would be bad. For gold, it's very good. Like, but you can see this is the Silver Leaguer coming out. The Silver Leaguer of, like, pylon, 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 pylon. But there is the, I know I'm supposed to build more probes, and a Robo is what Winter recommends because he says Robos are for people who are slow, and I'm slow, and I understand my limits. And here we are. Okay, Observer. I mean, the base is laid out how you'd expect, but... Charge? Templar Archives? Okay. Templar Archives or Robobay, not and Robobay. I'd recommend the Robobay first. Against Terran especially. Forge, a little late, not super late. Third base. Fine. Honestly, the details, as is very common, like the base looks like it. Do you want to get dropped? Because remember, as you move up to Diamond, which you will at this rate, this is clear. Every Terran in Diamond is way too much of a sniveling bitch to actually move out. So what they will do is drop 2 medevacs of Marines until they lose and whine or kill your entire tech tree and your pylons. So, think about that. That is why we do not build a bunch of... Is that a scout? Stand guard. Spotter pylons. I mean, ideally we'd use hotkeys at some point. But has anything died yet? 9.5 minutes. It looks like we're getting the full 10-minute no rush. This looks very good, but then you realize literally nothing. There has been no contact with the enemy. At all for 10 minutes. So, like... And... Yeah. I mean... Yeah. There you go. That's how that's supposed to look. We need upgrades. There's that Warp Prism. Now you're going to want to put the Warp Prism on something we like to call a control group. So that way you can control it. Instead of... Why do you keep hotkeying 2 probes? How does this keep Oh, the probes are hotkeyed, but they keep going in and out of an assimilator. What a weird scenario. Okay, let's hotkey the prism.
Snack 'em is chillin' for 13
Thank you, Snack 'em,
months.
Pack 'em. Honestly, if the warp prism was hotkeyed, the ideas are really good. The execution is not great. +1 attack is not enough attack.
Topping beats is chilling for 25
Oh, we're about to
months.
find out what it
Remove
is. By the way, the people said factory. Are we about to run into the tank? There are also ghosts here, but I think it's gonna be the tanks. Because honestly, so far, if you ignored the fact it was no rush 10 minutes, the way things are moving around, yeah, the upgrade, this could easily be a diamond game at this point. Thank you, $7.99 large 2-topping pizza and Snack 'em Pack 'em. Unrelated. Alright. Oh no, right-clicking. That is way more ghost usage than your average diamond Terran, though. Like, we're at the... Oh my god, it's like the eye of the storm here. Like, we are higher level than all the low-level players, but we're not high enough level to realize you don't get to do the right unit composition in a real game. Like, both the players have their theoretical good unit compositions, and the game is slow enough they actually get them. Okay, don't run away. Just attack. You need to attack. You need to fight. You need to fight them. Alright. Alright, EMPs will evaporate. The counter to ghosts is Colossi, by the way. Also, the reason everything's horrible is because it's +3, +2 against +1 attack. And ghosts kind of counter zealots, So it wasn't factory units. It was actually, surprisingly, ghosts that end up... Wow, a lot of stuff died. So barracks. I did not expect that. Yeah, okay, so this is possibly the only scenario where Archons are not the answer. When literally most of their unit composition has EMP, is the one time when making Archons is not the answer. We found it. We found the one case. Yeah. When they have like a dozen EMPs, even... Well, I guess Archons... Never mind. Archons are amazing! Let's go! Well, you also want to build like 3 robos. There's no reason not to have 3 robos. Yeah, upgrades go to 3 is an important point. Get that Dark Shrine. Honestly, the fact we're still going. What he wins. Wait, what? What a game. What a game. Terran just taps out with, like, still... Terran taps out because he lost the ghosts. He still has more workers, liberators, ravens, like... He's just... No, that's it. He's just prepping for Diamond as well. Like... Both players are prepping well for Diamond here. Between... well, that was something. Alright. I'm gonna... Like, I was originally... It was in the A range, but it dipped to a B+. So what is the hope score? I didn't explain this before. But it is... If you play a medium amount of games... And it's different for everyone, but like a generally medium amount of games, which is 5 per league per week. 5 for bronze, 10 for silver, and in this case, 15 for gold. In a week, not a day, a week. 20 for plat, 25 diamond plus. how likely I think in a month you'll move up a league. Or if you're in Diamond Plus, a tier. So this is based on my opinion and subjective analysis. And that's it. So B plus, why don't you give a number or percent? It's a B plus! And that's what it is. Which means I think if you play 15 games a week for a month, it's very likely you'll move up to plat. With relative ease. And then beyond that is not unlike, like if it's anywhere from B on, it might be more than that. Like, it depends. It depends. But that was all right. Upgrades, multiple robos, actual build, hotkeys. Oh yeah, we should start adding S in. I keep forgetting that. What is the scoreboard stuff? Like Terran negative 38%. That means Terran's at negative 38%. Protoss is currently, bless your heart, is at 0. And Winter Y, undefined. I thought it was pretty clear. Best comp to beat Cyclone Hellion? Ranged lurkers. But until then, like Hydra Lingbane with good creep spread. And also making them look anywhere but directly at their Cyclones. I'm the Zerg. Borderline, I'm like, is he playing me? He could be. This is mid-masters. Well, lower side, but like... Oh, so this is one of those. Is it mech? No, it's just losing. I know this feel. Losing for 5 minutes, but them not quite being able to kill you because they have bad micro. You gotta be careful about putting your creep tumor where you might want to wall off with Evos or a Roach Horn. I don't know if that actually blocks the location, but something that might become relevant. So, more queens. Wow, 13 drones and a lamp. You know what? I'll forgive you the queens a bit. The queens probably will as well for 13 drones. This is borderline here. There should have already been spores. We haven't seen you saw a couple Hellions. There could have easily been a Liberator, possibly a Banshee. There should have already been spores. It appears there is not any of those things, but there easily could have been, and that would have been another problem entirely. So. Are we going Bane speed, or... It looks like Bane's... So you saw that move out, right? Are you trusting your Overlord? Your Overlord just saw the move out. At least to the third. Something moved out of the base. I thought it was towards an attack, but... Alright, for Rex. Honestly, the lack of spores is the only thing. Otherwise, well managed early game. Overlord placement, you committed 2, but that's a stylistic choice. The drone count is actually really solid, maybe too solid. And that, like, I think you have to stop at 50, like 50 to 60. You're going to 64 before any rounds of units. You have to, like, kind of take stock of the situation between 50 and 60. Now, the fact he took this third, at no point did we see, where did that command center, he built it on location, didn't he? What a greedy, wait, no he didn't. Where did he build it? Oh, he built it in the main. Alright, he hit it. Yeah, it's a weird third. That definitely throws things. So we're making this many drones without knowing there's a third. So that was super great. So far, my criticisms are hypothetical. But yeah, that was super greedy to go for that. No, you can't just get 70 drones before being... The map is dark and full of Terrans. Like, you will not have time to build mains. Alright, we're now sending lings out. If you know for a fact he's not attacking, I don't mind it too much. Like, this is relying a lot on imperfect info here. We're getting high. Now's the time to get those hydras up. We're getting hydra ups. You see, it happens even in Masters. I'm waiting, like, I'm staring at the minimap, waiting for an attack on the left side. No. Terran's just like, 2 medevacs to the main. Go get them, boys. So it did minor damage. And that's it. No. The answer here, you gotta start the hive now. The hive needs to start now. If you're gonna go lurkers, like, it looks like we're rushing lurkers, now's the time. No, not creep spread. Not creep spread. Now's the time for hive. Alright. Are those, base camera injects? Even in plat, I usually get 2-prong there. Fuck no, you don't. So, where is this? Ill Rhyme Slayer. Are you here? That drop from the Terran made no sense. How's this Terran master? Oh my god. Ugh. Wait till these players find out it's better for the Terran to not attack. Like... So, you're getting a hive. You have upgrades for everything on the way. What is one important thing to not do right now? Attack and lose the army. I was gonna go, well, my more general response would be lose map control. Losing map control means you'll never get hive tech without being under pressure, which means it kind of defeats the purpose of hive tech. If you threaten with Lings and Banes, he's gonna panic and keep a bunch of units at home. If you fight with Lings and Banes, do some damage and lose them, you now have nothing to cover for the significant... Also, why are we going... Tell me why we're going for hive tech, by the way. Explain to me what the hive is for. This is just... It's not a trick question. What is the hive for? I think we're on the same page here. We'll see. Ultras and Vipers. What the fuck? No! Why are you going Ultras? No, the answer is Lurkers or you're wrong. Ultras? What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here. I was gonna be like, well, where's your Lurker then? Ultras? You're upgrading ranged attack. Are you sure it wasn't for Lurkers and you forgot the Lurker den? Lurkers it is. Yeah, the answer was Lurkers. The more reasonable explanation was I forgot the Lurker den, not I'm going for Ultras. Ultras are for when you have 80 drones and map control. Ultras are not a unit you fight the mid-game with. Especially against someone who's like, well, at this point we don't know it's mass tank or like factory units, but Ultras are not cheap. Vipers are great. Vipers are always good if you can manage them. Like, Vipers are one of the best units in the game. It's just, they're a little clunky to manage depending on what you're fighting. Yeah, so far we've given up all the map control. This is a good attempt on a fight, but the problem here is it's not going to get easier. He's on 4 bases, even if you don't know it. It's not going to get easier to trade with Terran. Like, as time goes on, these fights don't get easier. If you're going 1-to-1 in the trade, I don't like Widow Mines either, but like that's maybe I don't. It's not even that big a deal. So, honestly, there's not much to say here. Why? Because if a Lurker den was done, even without upgrades, even with all this, you could build 10 Lurkers right now. There's no reason a Lurker den couldn't be done. Just build the fucking Lurker den. If you don't have Lurkers or Vipers, you're going to lose because the Terran army is just better. Like, it's just going to be better than yours. Unless you have the units that make yours better. Yeah, he can lose 20 Marines each of these times, but it's not getting any easier to break it. Also, no Vipers built. Yeah, like this feels like you're doing damage, right? Like you've driven it back. What do you follow it up with? Look at the supply. He's got 5 bases. He's been completely untouched. You know how bad this feels. This is one of those like, I'm not dead, but I'm barely alive. When you're barely able to push a Terran off your creep, it's not a good sign. Like, I thought I defended. No. Defending is killing a base. That's what defending is at this stage of the game. A good defense is when you smash an army and then kill a base. Or force him to lift. Otherwise, you've stalled for time. That's all you've accomplished. Because he's still building the same amount of units every minute. He's going to build another 40-50 supply every minute. It's actually kind of ridiculous. That's not an exaggeration. He can build like 50 supply a minute at this point. How many barracks? He's got 6 racks. He's got 3 factories and a starport. So, how many reactors? Let's see. It takes, let's say 4 Marines and 2 Marauders a minute. All right, 4 Marines. 4 supply times 6. That's 24 out of the racks. Another 12 to 14. Yeah, it's a lot. It's nearly 50 supply. So, but to quote Twitch chat, I don't know what this Terran's build is. He hasn't done anything all game. Thank you, Twitch chat, for chiming in. I'm glad you did so. I was waiting for the opportunity to point out the wisdom. This Terran understands that Marines are expendable and everything else is better. Honestly, you could have been perfectly fine. With a dozen lurkers, on any of the... If you had a dozen lurkers with you, and maybe a couple Vipers, you could have smashed a defense and just attacked into a base. But if you're not able to do that, you're just buying time. In order to hopefully get lurkers or Vipers. There's GG. Honestly, Masters 3 seems about right based on that one. If you're gonna go for Hive Tech, you gotta go for Hive Tech. That's like, it sounds dumb, but there's no point in going for Hive Tech and then not going Hive Tech. It was fine, but I think we had 2 of those. Lurkers it is. Yeah. And honestly, late game against Terran, not super easy. Especially if they're smart with their Liberators, in which case you might need Corruptors. But if it gets to that point, it's real rough. Like, Raynor struggles once it gets... Like, there's so many different pieces you have to deal with that all require pretty particular response. Between the tanks, mines, Liberators, and then Ghosts. Like, once you get past the overwhelming force phase, it's a rough time. Deej finally figured out SC2 replay stats. Congratulations, Deej. Years later. So here we are. Wait, did we already watch the versus Terran? No, we watched a versus Protoss. All right, so this was played today. What were the criticisms? Upgrades late. Wait, no. Yes. This is the right one. Warp Prism not existing.
Your probes are getting wrecked. Your probes are getting wrecked.
Honestly, I remember it being pretty okay. That's a lot of stalkers. Okay. Interesting Twilight. Alright, I guess we're just gonna get a little bit of everything here. Cloak Banshees. Okay, so what is the counter? Deej, what is the counter to Cloak Banshees? Corsairs. Corsairs would be good. Obs and Stalker. No, Shield Battery. The answer was Shield Battery. Obs and Stalker can kill it, but the battery counters it. There's no... Like, build a battery in your main mineral line. It's just not a bad habit to be in generally. I already laid down so much tech. What, are you telling me you don't have the minerals? Is that what you're gonna... Also, why did you... If he does wait for 2, he can counter it by just, like, combining fire, but having a shield battery as a reaction is not a bad idea. Oh, I want to point out, Deej said that he threw this game, which would imply he was ahead at some point. Also, how those upgrades doing, Deej? Let's see what point he can throw from. Oh, there we go. No, not there. Oh, you actually thought a little bit about maybe not having all your tech at the edge of your main. So that was good. I don't know if we realized this is mech yet. Or whether it matters. Oh yeah, okay, well now you're winning very hard. Yeah, you are now winning this game. This is when you go win the game. No. Here's what you do. Here's his army right now is 2 tanks and 6 Hellions. What you do is you use that F2 hotkey we all love, and you attack. That's what you do. No, where are you going? Where are you going? Okay, or not. He's playing mech. All you have to do is punch him in the face.
Your upgrade's done. Upgrade.
What is with players doing the I'm macroing now? Yeah, I get it. You're a macro god. Now maybe pay attention to whether or not you're fighting tanks. Okay? Or maybe, you know, another way that would be good to help you warp in is a warp prism! Who would have fucking thought? It's in the name!
I am here. I return to serve. I am here.
That mineral field's gone.
How do you lose this?
We embrace the glory.
Like, the warp prism isn't just for the main. Like, the warp prism is so good, it can do whatever you want, really. Like, warp prism, support the army. How do you lose these armies? Stop looking away when you're about to win the game. Jesus Christ. So now we have Mass Stalker. He built any amount of battle cruisers, therefore we will only build... You know another counter to mech is like air units? But he has 2 battle cruisers. And I don't know, could you, for the small price of 29 Stalkers, could you have built 7 Stargates and built anything out of them? Yes, the answer is yes. It's not a trick question. Like, if you think you can't kill him, though you probably thought you could, and you would have been right. Oh no, he's attacked in 2 places at once.
We're running out of
Kind of, not really. Alright, so... Void Rays exist. Sweet Jesus. Alright, so yeah, you did throw this. This is a pretty dramatic one. Yeah. All we need now is some, like, trash talk. Some very misguided trash talk to really cap this one off. Yeah, Stalkers don't really counter anything besides having money. Stalkers are okay against battlecruisers on their own. They're not better than Stargate units. They're not good against anything on the ground. I lose here? You lose when you tap out of the game. You lost when you looked away from your army when he had 1/8 of the army supply.
I am here in the shadows.
Your base is under attack again.
and you decided, I'm macroing now. And macroing was build 2 more bases and 30 more gates.
Your pylon is Your probes are under attack. GG. Better luck next time.
That was a boring one. B minus. You built a whole lot of the wrong units at the wrong time. So good job on that. That was a just build Void Rays. Or, like, Void Rays would have been fine. Just, you know, fucking attacking him would have been fine. Building any War Prisms. Yeah, you did mention. You mentioned during the Protoss game, like, I should build Prisms against Protoss, which implied you build them against the other races. Well, that was a fucking lie. So he did pay for 2 technically, so we'll now see if it's true against... I would say the one thing that most factored into that game, again, was the lack of Warp Prism. Like, not that much needed to change. If reinforcements came 50% quicker, he probably would have finally mustered up the courage to actually attack move. So... change scene. Oh, thank you, Jimmy. Jimmy, who let you type in Twitch chat? All right. You know we've talked about this. I've said maybe don't backseat. All right. Both your guns. Thank you, Hawkfeather, for gifting to the people.
Beast 58 is chilling for 1 month.
Oh,
Happy September. Well,
now I have your attention.
Oh, a hype train is close. Which means it's time for a quick advertisement. I'll be right back. Thank you for watching.
Oh, a follower. Is that all?
Cyril is chilling for 38 months.
Oh, good.
Hey everybody, I'm Winter, and I'm here to talk to you all about September! For the beautiful month of September, which is most easily made into other puns, we have more subs for everyone! It's 20% off. Yes, 20%! Not 10, but 20% to give subs to other people during the entire month of September. And that, on top of the fact, if you have Amazon Prime and you get Prime Gaming, it's absolutely free for you every single month. So Prime Gaming, not just for shitty mobile games and shitty mobile loot, and not just for showing off to the other nerds in the chat. You can subscribe for free to a streamer of your choice. And every moment you don't get on this scam hype train, every moment you don't participate in September, well, you're missing out. And you're losing money for me. So subscribe with Prime Gaming. Gift some subs today. Be generous. People can get emotes. So remember, at the end of the day, at Amazon Prime, we know where you live. You told us. Thank you. Good night. Change the scene. Change the... Thank you guys for sticking around. I will let you coach this one.
Follower. Is that all?
John Voigt LeBaron is chilling
Thank you for getting on the scam train. But what's the biggest issue going to be? I will be back in a moment. Is it going to be War Prism or not War Prism? if I come back and there are issues I have to go back for, that's going to be a strike anyways. So, thank you for watching. Thank you for getting on the scam train, pipe train. I'll be right back.
Oh, good. Now I have your attention.
That's why is chilling for 21 months. Wow, I didn't realize Amazon Prime would let me subscribe to a streamer.
You're out of supplies. Make more pylons.
Oh, good. Now I have your attention.
Zaddy the Bear is chilling for 18 months.
Played this like an hour ago. Powered off my comp after. Oh, just coming back to this. I was about to say... well, he didn't play it an hour ago. But it wasn't a lie. Because he played this game, and then he didn't play any more games for 8 hours. So... what's going on here? Why are there 4 Stalkers and a Void Ray? With 0 units lost.
I'm here in the shadows.
Why do you have a Void Ray and the Void Rays of the ground? Like, both units that are like, they can hit up, they can hit down. What else could I possibly need? I tried Stargate. Okay. And then you built a bunch of Stalkers, which really undercut the Stargate idea. A Baneling bust would have made you very sad. Yes, for the Zerg, because Baneling busts are terrible, especially against players who are opening Stargate. And he already has a battery for some unknown reason. Why are we still building Stalkers? It's like, what else should I build? I don't know. Pick anything else that won't undercut the rest of your tech tree, which you still should have because you have 350 gas. This looks like there was no plan. It was, I'm going Stargate, and that was the plan. It's not a bad plan.
You must construct again.
So, here's what I'm going to need you to try to do. Anything else? Get the fuck off. Fuck off. Oh my god. Come on. Come on. Fuck out of here. Like, it was okay, but this is just sad. Like, even if it gets out. Oh, what a save. You could build, with what you have in the bank, you could build 10 more Void Race. Instead, we're worrying about having one Void Ray be saved by recall. So what's the answer? What do? You build more Stargates, and you build more Stargate units. And maybe you get Storm if you're feeling spicy. But that's it. That's all you need. Not a bunch of charge lots which are killed by the same thing he's already building, which is Hydras. Oh my god. There's an Overlord! Send in 5 Stalkers, which still failed. That's how shitty Stalkers are.
Job's done.
We built 5 more Stalkers. I expect there to be 0 Stalkers upon the first fight. Oh, who would have thought Lurkers exist? So yeah, this is one of the least anti-Hydra Lurker armies. Like, it's not about what works and what doesn't. It's about having more shit than your opponent, which you don't. What works is building more shit than them. You're at 2,700 minerals.
Your upgrade's done.
Oh, good. Now I have your attention.
You're allowed to build more than one robotics facility, by the way. Also, this is important. This is important. You can build more than one Stargate, too. I know it sounds crazy.
Hey, your base is that mineral.
Yeah, you're pretty far out there for someone who's seen where the Hydras are for the last, like... You looked at the Hydras on the left side. You can continue to round the right.
Hope you have an expansion.
If either player spent their money, they would have already won the game. Like, if either player spent their money on more of similar units to what they have.
Your probes are under attack.
But neither can get their money down. It looks like finally we'll get there after losing all these bases. Still, though.
Upgrade complete.
That's optimistic.
Thespian geyser.
Yeah, so if you're gonna go Stargate, go Stargate. If you're gonna go Robo, go Robo. If you're gonna go Gateway units, don't make Stalkers. But you did none of those things. You built a shitty-ass amount of Stalkers. You built a non-committed amount of Void Rays. And then you non-committed your way into losing horribly. Like, that's just not the army. How many times do you see 38 charge lots and 6 Void Rays? Like, that was a thing at one point, but not at 16, not 16, but like 12 minutes into the game. It was over. I was defeated after opening Stalker. I mean, yes. No, not at all, but also yes. Like, I can agree and disagree with that. Either way, that one was a C+. Like, you made a lot of money. You built a lot of gates. And then you had no fucking plan. Lost the mind game. Let's try playing the game against yourself. That one was shame. I think that one was shame. Shame on you.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
I think that brings Protoss down to, that. Yes. Negative parentheses to the 0th power. Or open eye, confused face, sideways. That also fits. Now we have Kybrit here to show us yada yada, and then battlecruiser, yada yada battlecruiser, yada yada battlecruiser. All right. I'm just gonna pre-shame this one.
Shame. Shame.
We'll pull it back, but
Shame.
and we'll leave that strike up as well.
SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready. SCV ready.
Mm-hmm. So this build dies to anyone who builds more than one Reaper. Or even one Reaper, I guess. Yeah, there you go.
Add-on is done. Doesn't that look good? Add-on complete.
SCV ready.
Your units are all ready. The add-on is finished, so you have your research is done. Additional supply depot. Your SCV.
We're gonna get Stim, Armory, +1 armor, bunch of turrets, throw some command centers, okay.
Research is done.
Oh wow, look at that. Counterattack.
5-minute catnap is chillin' for 38 months.
Crazy.
Out of minerals. You just upgraded your unit. The add-on is finished, so you have no excuse not to build some.
And there's the fusion core. We're gonna get. Wait, no. Wait, no, that was the other player got a fusion core. My bad. Now we're getting a fusion core. He's getting nukes. We're proxying the fusion core. Because like, it's important to hide such important info.
Wow, you mined all those minerals already.
It's unclear who's Kybrit because they're both doing the same stupid build. Well, that's one way to open up the. Yeah. All right. This is quite a game. Alright, so you just nuke the shit out of the natural.
That geyser is done. Your command center upgrade.
Uh-huh.
Upgrade complete. Mineral field depleted. Out of minerals.
I think nobody... Oh, he has combat shield. Good for him.
Let's hope you put the right one.
Yeah, this is like... At least Kybrit's spending his gas, I guess. Kybrit wins. Oh, okay. Okay, yada yada battlecruisers. There we are. Other guy decides to tap out with 3,800, 2,300. Shame on you. That was a pretty fun game. A little more action than we're used to. Moving on. Looks like that guy was like, I'm going nukes. And then, I don't know, battlecruisers. So I gotta... What? Why? How did this happen? Angry Coach featuring, oh god, the fucking Zerg. It's the Zerg. The Zerg sent this one. Or so he claims. We'll find out at the end, by the way. the chat. Are you the real Kybrat? Good luck. Permagold. Huge fan. I'm legit impressed. What a shit show. How did you afford so many Thors? He says it. 35 minutes and 31 seconds. 4 base economy. You had 4 bases. He says it. 35 minutes and 47 seconds. How did he manage to get a 4th base up? By the 38-minute mark. Oh my god. Macro god. There's only so many bases on this map as well. So this is definitely a shame. Just for everyone involved.
Shame. Shame.
He's prioritizing the "Are you the real?" which I'm very familiar with. Lucky me. But he prioritized it over moving his Overlord. Which, I mean, you probably don't need to move your Overlord in this matchup. But at the same time... like, oh my god, he's choking under the pressure. Ah. He's struggling. I'm a huge fan. Heart, says Kybrit, with 2 barracks at the back of his natural. And an engineering bay on the way for some reason, but... I'm sorry, 1 barracks at the back of his natural. You know, if that hatch had been 1 hex off, it might have been out of range. In Kybrit's defense, which I can't believe I'm saying, he didn't start the conversation. If he had started the conversation and then done this, then that'd be something else. But he did not start off fanboying, so... That's +1 infantry weapons upgrading on that engineering bay there. So the counter to all of this is obviously to make any amount of units and kill him. Okay, well the counter is to ignore everything he's doing, get 60 drones, make 200 supply of Roach Hydra, and kill him. I doubt that's the direction we're gonna end up going, but... I like the gold base. The gold base is pretty good here. Yeah, the direction... what you do is you max out on Roach Hydra with 60 drones. You just walk across the map and you win. Or you try to... corrosive bot... Did he kill his... Wait. Did he lose... Did he have 3 Ravagers at one point? There were never 3... No. There's a 3rd Roach over there. I was like, what happened to that 3rd Ravager? Did not. Alright, so we're gonna continually... Oh, wow. So, when you're faced with a set of options, your set of options being do anything to get rid of 1,800 minerals and 500 gas, or option 2 is try to micro 2 Ravagers against a flying proxy Rax. That's a hard decision, okay? It does look like we do end up in the walk across the map and kill him. Maybe not with as many drones as we should have. But, oh wow. So the 200 supply part of the original equation was very relevant. Not attacking into 2 bases up a ramp, but getting 60 drones and 200 supply. Not 40 drones and 88 supply. Attacking 12 seconds before +1 attack. That is not the time. So Kybrit has another base somewhere, right? Yeah. Very clever and completely unexpected. the not actually an island base. So, the beauty of this is that if J. Peter had ever sent that first Overlord out, it's very likely that the base would have flown by said Overlord. But because J. Peter was so, for lack of any other word, starstruck, he did not send said Overlord across the map. So here we are. Like he's eventually getting towards that. Like we're stumbling into having 200 supply. We may get there. There's a Viper. Oh my god, a Viper. Oh, you found the base. So you know there are rocks there. Okay. Alright. You can just kill the rock. Oh, what an abduct. The command centers will get away. So, it hasn't been super easy. But remember the chat we already had. We already know how the chat goes. In 20 minutes, J. Peter will ask Kybret incredulously, how did you get so many Thors? And I want us to think back to this moment where J. Peter, despite his best efforts, is up 100 supply, has 2-1 with Vipers on Roach Hydra. So, remember when we ask how Kybret got so many Thors, this moment. All right. There is no question. The answer, yes or no. If you don't know the question, you haven't been following along. Yes or no. You got 30 seconds. The people say yes. Resounding yes. The answer, no. Wow. You give Kybret way too much credit. He wouldn't have expanded both directions. That would have taken way too much energy. Honestly, what J. Peter is doing right now is the right move. It's taken him a while, but at the end of the day, Viper, ranged lurker, with upgrades and heading towards what seems to be Broodlords. Yeah, this is it. Like, we've gotten here. This is the correct move. Deny bases, and make it so he can't come down his ramp. That's about all you can do. You don't want to go up the ramp because then he might do the stupid fucking A move across because Terran units are that easy. Like, you finally get to do your Viper micro challenge. You just get to keep kidnapping. Well, you do want to stop. I don't know how a planetary actually happens, but no. Thanks, bro. Well. Yeah, I mean, it is something you can do. A bit of an own goal there. Thank you, Valnar. Well, there go the ranged lurkers. So what is the counter to Mass Thor? Neural Parasite, because if you can't beat him, you hire him. Second best is Viper, Lurker, and then maybe Broodlords. He's scouting. Like, he's looking. Ah! Like, yeah, this is super fucking annoying to play against. This is the worst type of game. But I'm actually impressed. Like, J. Peter had a bit of a struggle for the start, but he settled down. This is the best you can do. Like, I wouldn't trust myself going up that ramp. Just let him come to you. There's nothing else to be done. There's only so much map. Like... Yeah, that's... I'm actually straight up impressed that J. Peter is being this patient. This patient, rather. Like... Yeah, that was maybe a little optimistic, but... Oh, you gotta be... Just because he moved any units doesn't mean you need to move all of yours that aren't sieged. Okay, yeah, that... Nah. Nah, don't do... That's bad. Well, now you could make... Oh, well... Maybe you forgot about the Greater Spire happening. Like, you don't need to be cost-effective when you have literally 5 times as many bases. You just need to be effective. God, Thors are so good at everything. Oh my god. That was a bit of a rough one. Lurker is not as much of a counter to tanks, I will say. No, this is when we get the Broodlords. There you go. Thing is, he doesn't have any upgrades, really, for the Broodlords. That means the Thors are just gonna kind of shrug them off. Unless Kybra doesn't know... Yeah, okay, so in this fight, if he had just A-moved with the Broods, he would have won the fight. Because there's only 2 Thors and they're not even in high impact mode, so... But... Now they are. Okay. What a disaster. Well, it appears losing twice as many resources and probably 5 times as much gas is not a super reliable strat. And also not using any hotkeys may contribute. But despite all this, it looks like we got 8 Zerglings on the way, which may turn the tide. Not sure. Legit impressed. Which is like... It's like when you pull a quarter out from behind a 3-year-old's ear. Like, that's kind of what we're doing here. Oh, so he still wins. 4 base economy. 3. No, that's a fucking lie. He's just... Oh, okay, so Kybra was just... Like he does. Honestly, he may believe he had 3 bases. There's no guarantee that Kybra doesn't truly believe that he had 3 bases. He didn't. He did not, at any point, for very long, at least, have a 3-base economy. That's just a lie. Whether he understands it or not. You can build a lot of Thors. It's just like when you build nothing else and you sit there in your base. Technically you had a third for like 3 minutes, but that's like another 5 Thors, mate. Like, wow, what a shit show. That was the most accurate statement in the match. I'm gonna give that one, yeah. Did I pre-shame it? Well, we're gonna throw it on there. That one was not sent by Kybert. It just, I don't know if it was coordinated, but it was sent in after Kybert sent his in immediately, so maybe they were waiting. I don't know. Yeah, I think we need to shame both players. So we'll just add another one on that. We'll just keep adding them. Throw it up there. Pre-shame and post-shame for something of that magnitude, I think. You can never have enough. Here we have, I could use some help getting a game plan versus air toss. I'm doing some real dumb shit right now. Says, Shin Pete. I don't know if he's the barcode who goes Void Rays. Or if he's the other one. I assume he's the other one based on the fact he says, I don't know what to do against air toss. And now I'm going to let people in on a secret. And that secret is that if they make Protoss units, so can you. That is something I think is important to point out. I'm the guy massing stalkers. Alright, so don't. Here we go. The answer is don't. How do you counter Sky Toss? Phoenixes counter Void Rays if it's mass Void Ray. Archons, and actually maybe Storm. Mass Sky Toss, you're still probably going to need Sky Toss to deal with. Stalkers do not counter anything. Stalkers counter nothing. Stalkers are a temporary solution against small amounts of air units early in the game. That is it. And until you have within a few hundred MMR of me, and if you're like, well, I don't know how much that is, well, then it doesn't matter. Also, let alone long enough. The answer to Sky Toss is more Sky Toss, usually. But in a pinch, it is Archons. Okay, so the answer to a Protoss putting a pylon... I feel like we have bigger issues than Sky Toss here. Why? Because there's a pylon at the bottom of your ramp. You've scouted a forge which he's only building because he's now realized he could maybe cannon rush you. So there's this, like, what we usually do is we have an order to the build. Like, we wanna do things in a certain order, and I see right now you're doing a 1-gate expand. So in Protoss versus Protoss, when they have a probe in your base and they're building a forge, the answer to that, well, besides the fact that that's not a PvP build at all, though in Gold League, I don't think you need a matchup-specific build. I think when you scout that they have a forge on the way, you may need to adapt a little, as in, like, building another gate. Or a zealot. Also, I'm not sure when this is going to become airtight. Or just, you know, like, kill his probe with your probe and then do whatever the fuck you want, because now he has nothing and you have 2 bases. Let's try not to build all the stuff behind the mineral line. 1, it could get sniped by, like, Void Rays. 2, you're probably going to wall it off. 3, Warp Gate is the first thing. As soon as the Cyber Core finishes, you build Warp Gate. They literally added it so you automatically get Warp Gate on all your gateways, because there's literally no reason not to have it. It's just better. Not Robo, not Stalkers, Warp Gate, and then units. Otherwise, you may forget Warp Gate, which is bad. What part of this is air toss? He's building a Robo. We have a Robo. It's like, yeah, but 12 minutes from now, there's going to be Void Rays. Well, 12... Not every game can be decided... Like, not every game is decided in the first 5 minutes. Okay? But every game, 99%, I am confident saying 99%, up through higher diamond, could be. 99% of games could easily be decided up through at least 3,500 MMR by just having a fucking plan at all. And not like a vague idea in generally, but like by I'm going to get 3 bases, 60 probes, Immortal Archon charge lot, and max out by 9 minutes. And if you can follow through on that plan for 5 minutes, you've already done better than Barcode over here, who's building a bunch of shield batteries, cannons, a Stargate, and a Robo. He's got a build order stew. And by order, like, it's more like a build stew. There's no order at all. Did you wall off your Immortal behind your mineral line? No, it's just sitting there. So rally points exist. Okay, Archons. 100 supply Archons. I'm just gonna start making that a rule. It's not nearly a perfect rule, but it's better than whenever I fucking remember it way too late. With 1100 gas. Okay, so, don't micro. You see this? You see what you're doing? You're fucking microing, you stupid idiot. You see what happens when you micro? You die, like, it was already gonna be bad. But you're over here trying to target down Void Rays. If you had 3 Archons and you looked away from the fight, you would have won it. No, not just Mass Stalker. The answer was Archons. The answer still continues to be Archons. Holy fuck. You're actually making Void Rays look good. How dare you? Stop it. Stop. I'm done. Alright. I'm just skipping to the point here.
Get the fuck out of here!
No. Stop. No one makes Void Rays look good. And continues their... Moving on. Shame on you. And it's hard to get shame as a gold leaguer. But shame on you.
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Like, it wasn't like I gave you the benefit of the doubt. You attacked into Void Rays with Stalkers and went horribly. Your solution? Build more Stalkers so it can go even fucking worse. That does not trend in a good direction, my friend. Bluntenstein is back after the sniveling display from earlier. He's here for more. Maybe not as quickly as he thought. If you remember, Bluntenstein tried to do a Marine/Medevac micro build. He neglected his macro and his upgrades horribly, and then he complained about how A-move Zerg is upon losing because he had no units. Here he is with more. I don't know what's going on with your keyboard. This is not the first time this happened.
SCV ready.
Additional supply.
Not a good start.
SCV ready.
Mm-hmm.
Our SCVs are under attack.
This is a bonus game, by the way, guys. What does that mean? That means when I feel like it, for every sub we get this game, we're selling out a little more for September, I will gift a sub to the people. How generous. So I believe the in-game time is around 20 minutes, but don't count on 20 minutes. So double your money today for other people, not you. You get nothing besides pride and accomplishment. Moving on. At least somebody will win something for this. Maybe. We'll see.
Command center upgrade complete.
What is that bunker placement? What is this? Why did we get so much gas? And then... if you're gonna not... okay, so, for you Terran players out there, if you're gonna not scout, you better have a fucking build. Like, if you're gonna not scout, you better have such a tight build order that you literally need those extra, like, 30 minerals that you're missing out. Okay, like 50 minerals you're missing out on by scouting. If you're gonna come over here, have 166 gas in the bank, slap down a second Rax in a bunker just not even at the front, but like you're scared of an attack, while your opponent double expands because you're a little bitch who doesn't scout, then I'm not going to be happy. I'm not going to be excited. I like what the Protoss is like, you're not going to scout? Well, I'm going to take all the next eye. Where's the factory? Have we not built... so you don't need... you barely need one gas to go 3 Rax bio. 3 Rax bio. Thank you, Shadala.
Shadalar is chilling for 1 month.
Yeah, I love what the Protoss is doing. He's like, are you going to sit there? Either, there are 2 options. Either the plan was not 3 Rax bio at the start, and we just kind of happened along it. Or 2, it was, and the build is bad. Those are the only options. Like, because you don't need 440 gas to build a few Marines and forget stim. Okay? That's not required. In fact, some might argue that it's inefficient. So when you eventually do come across later than you needed to, with less units than you could have, and he has 4 bases and can defend it because you took forever, that might be why. Stalker just hit. Hey! Alright, well. How do you get in here? Okay, so. The Protoss is now building 10 shield batteries. Which is quite a thing. Micro! You know, the thing is... yeah, looks like he's gonna win. Looks like going for next side was definitely a little optimistic. So, on the bright side, he does get punished for it.
SCV ready. Oh, it's on. You want a piece of me, boy?
Remember, during this replay, which is ending pretty quick, I will be matching every subscribe. I know. I know as time goes on and the Americans fall asleep and the Europeans haven't had their tea and crumpets yet or whatever. You gotta keep the hype going. Monday morning is a hopping time to stream. Alright, so the first one was okay. The second one... thank you, Crying Hawk. Slightly mental as well.
Crying Hawk is chilling for 11 months. Almost 1 year.
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah, the 1,000, like... having gas in the bank is not uncommon for Terran, but that is way too much, way too early. Why is there bonus game text on the screen? Because everyone has audio muted, apparently. Yeah, we're gonna want to have medevacs sometime between now and literally never would be good. Might want to add the starport or all the barracks or the factory to the hotkey. But 10 minutes, I would argue, is about 5 minutes too late. Maybe 4 minutes too late for medevacs. Oh my god, the SCVs. The Zealots struggling so hard. Oh my god. Like, this is easily... Like...
Add-on complete.
12 minutes is too goddamn late for me. Protoss is doing a gateway unit challenge over here. My heart was racing. Alright, and then we're just gonna have a quick conversation. And then a lot of Guardian Shield, but Stalkers are actually terrible. Zealots less terrible. Okay, back to Stalkers.
Mineral field.
At some point the upgrades are going to be a key part of this. Yeah, I'm not sure the blink was the issue, but okay. Yeah, blink would have really expedited the process of losing all your Stalkers, because Stalkers are super bad. So the upgrades are currently +3, +2. Like, they're good and bad things. The good things here were just constant production. The micro's pretty good, unfortunately, because that means it... The problem with having too good of micro at too low a level, and this is Diamond 3 Terran, which is the most dangerous level. Because if your micro's kind of good, you're gonna start leaning on that. And then when when Zergs or Protoss can actually micro a little bit, you're just gonna whine and complain like you did in the first game. Like, when the Zerg player managed to have banelings attack without getting stuck behind a bunch of units, that was a disaster. Whereas the Zealots here are tripping over each other to attack one Marauder in the backline. So having good micro in Diamond is dangerous for Terrans, I think, especially more than any other race, because you start to expect to out micro your opponents, which you shouldn't do, especially when you forget medevacs until 12 minutes. Like, for what's a respectable time to max out an Immortal Archon Zealot? 9 to 10 minutes is quite respectable, with +2. That's assuming relatively untouched. 10 minutes is a little close. For Terran and Protoss, 9 to 10 minutes is a respectable timing. For Zerg, 8 to 9. Depends a little on the unit composition.
Base is under attack.
Reporting for action.
I've already mentioned when to build Archons, as we see here, being a real struggle. Like, I'm annoyed at the Protoss because he makes the Terran look good. Why do you think Bluntenstein sent this in? Bluntenstein, who whined about Zerg being A-move, sends in this game where Protoss actually A-moves. Like, look at my micro. Like, this was a terrible game from Bluntenstein, but the Protoss managed to be worse this time around. Like, forgetting or not building medevacs for 12 minutes and having a minute and a half late bio timing that will lose you more games than it wins. But you may scrape through Diamond 3 to eventually hit players who know what splash damage is, which was the source of much of the struggle earlier. Oh, I know what happened. He sent in his account. And I picked, of course, as I might, a loss. So you can see and learn from that. He sent this replay in specifically later. So here we are. So shame, by the way, obviously. But
Shame.
overall,
Shame. Shame.
it's a B. It's a B-. Because it really is the kind of playstyle that only works right up until they build literally any amount of Colossi. Like, one Colossus. He has one Colossus. You have 0 medevacs. How does that go? Not great. Any storms. Even with ghosts. Like, with 0 medevacs. There were ghosts before medevacs, which is something in and of itself. Like... Alright, we're down to 2 more. Oh my. We've been at it for... I was trying to keep it short today by raising the price relatively early. For my voice. 3 hours later. 3.5. Thank you, Sizzler.
Sizzler is chilling for 39 months. Thank you for another month of great entertainment.
We have Peruvian Swarm, who's a Diamond Zerg. I just sat to make units and still lost. What should I do? Huh. Alright, that is a comment. This is Diamond, probably 3, I believe, here. At 3K-ish. Oh yeah, did my prime not count for the bonus? Oh, I just remembered the bonus. It was 10, right? Let me see. It was about 10. I think it was 9, but am I not generous? Especially since Twitch chat's been kind of failing on the polls as well. I just sat to make units, says the man who 12 pulled.
Wonder Gaming has gifted 10 subs to viewers.
So, I was gonna take the strike down. I just sat to make it. Fucking 12 pool. That's not what sat and made unit. Like, that's not a sitting back. You literally just sat in 2 bases making units. I made roaches and lost. No. You don't 12 pull and then you say I just sat back. No, this is not what sitting back looks like. Like, you could. You have to play a different game if you early pull. This is not like I sat there, went hatch first, and eventually just ran me over. No. This is going to give you a very skewed interpretation of how the game is going. Because while this can be a perfectly macro-oriented build, I know, I go 12. 12 pull is a macro build. Ask Loco. Okay, ask Loco his top 3 control groups he uses. And ask him where he came up with the other 2. Not a nuanced player. So... let's look at the worker count during this. We have 13 drones versus 19 probes. Already you're behind. You start off behind with this. You have to make up that ground. You don't necessarily have to kill workers, but you have to do something other than just have lings exist. Because now you're behind. Of course, it's an investment.
Queen's all done. Good choice.
Kill a zealot? Good. Something. Alright. Get the second zealot. Might be more. Get the cyber core? Maybe more. Second zealot. That's lucky.
And your queen is ready.
So, right now, you're down 2 workers. The big win here is he doesn't have an expo. You do. But now, you're still behind on workers, despite this. What is the best case scenario? Well, this is still okay because you have 2 bases. You have to be very efficient following it up, though. Like, it wasn't, against a competent player, it's not going to get much better than killing 2 zealots and keeping most of your lings alive.
Queen
That's
ready.
fine, most of the
ready to
time.
rumble.
You can't really afford a 3rd. I mean, I guess you can play it like he's never going to move out, but... if you get lucky and he doesn't actually move out until he has an army.
A new queen is ready.
You're making 20... Why are we making 20 links? What did you see that prompted 20 links? Oh, Twilight Council. Wait, why are you making 20 links? If it's a Twilight Council, why would you... You said you sat back and made roaches. 20 lings is not roaches. That's 20 lings. Those are lings that could have been queens. Like, well, I think maybe he's going to depths or something. Well, maybe. But we don't know. So this is just for those of you who might not understand in the back. Making a bunch of units is not sitting back. Having less workers than your opponent and then making a bunch of units is not a defensive macro play. It is called having less money. You are down. You have never been ahead on economy. Just because you have 3 bases doesn't mean you're ahead on economy. You're down 11 workers, and he's killed 0. At no point. Like, it's 6 minutes in. If it was 9 minutes and he was on 2 base, fine. But you don't even start mining out of your main until around 8 minutes. So you're over here, you poked him. You're like, aha, come at me, bro. He's like, please stop. And you're still waiting. Like, if you're really so concerned, send an overlord. You have a lair. Did the lair just finish? Maybe. But like, you can't just not have, you at no point you had a better economy. He's been able to build more units consistently the whole game. So when he eventually moves out and has more units, this should not be a surprise.
Brood under attack. Panic time. The enemy is attacking your swarm.
You're still down on workers. Only now is he starting to mine out of his main. Only now are the mineral patches starting to mine out. Only at 8 minutes is when you really... Like, if you sit back... At 6 minutes, you get as much economy as you can. Past that, you build roaches. You don't just build units and assume he's going to attack at some point because you're just going to be behind. Or you attack him. Like, you build 50 roaches with speed. That you don't just sit there. If he's not moving out, the best way to scout what he's doing is to attack. You don't have to commit. But you poke the front and see if he's building something you didn't expect.
Don't mind out of that man. Creep to engage the enemy.
Alright. So...
Mind up, your Zerg have evolved.
You don't want to eat storms on the whole arm, obviously.
They're attacking the creep team. Maru and Cyril make it look so easy.
I'll admit this is a rough one. Like, it feels like you should be able to deal with it. What is the answer? Banelings. It's banelings. If you see charge lots, you need like a dozen banes. And some sort of like, you just let him come up the ramp if he has storm. It is a rough... It's one of those, like, it's some bullshit right here. And it does feel like it. But he did build Archons and Templar, which are... And now this is true. Not Stalkers. So they're good. And that means, like, it's very... I will admit, it's not an easy one. It is a bit of an awkward spot, but I think you were misjudging his economy significantly, which it's pretty easy to do when you go early pool, because it feels like he didn't get an expansion, he's behind. No, you at no point in this game had more workers. At no point did you ever have more workers than him. And only as we get to the very end at 10 minutes are you starting to mine more than him. Because he doesn't have a third. You're not even mining from the third. So expecting him to just have a worse economy is like... I thought I should have won the fight when I first saw it. Well, Storm. It's not a super easy one. You build like a dozen spine crawlers, and you try not to be 10 workers behind the whole time. I will give you some credit in that it's kind of a difficult to read situation. I mean, some leeway, but it's a C+. Like, you kind of had the right idea, and against other players you might win, but like, it's still an obvious misread. It was fine, but also, It is annoying when two bases just walk across and win, but... You gotta admit that as well. When you do an early pull, you kind of pushed him into his base. Like, you asked for it, so... We now have the last one saying, "Coach me harder, daddy," is Hawkfeather, who is a Diamond Protoss, so the other side of the story. You disgust me. That was not only like 15 seconds later than almost the quickest it could have been. That was an uncomfortably and disgustingly quick DT drop. Or not even drop, but like rush. You are a bad person. Decent Protoss, though. They seem to go hand in hand. Wait a second, I think... Jimmy, get the binder out! We haven't even seen the binder today. Interesting. Alright, thank you. Yeah, get it up. I want to make this clear. Dark Templar also not stalkers. Believe it or not. This may come as a shock. Why did you warp in there? You had a perfectly good prism, and you warp in at the natural.
Mineral field. Pirate army. Cluster expanded.
Deja vu. What? Warping in Star? You know what? Honestly, not... Oh. First, fuck you for sending in this replay. Two, well done. That was I mean, like... Third base probably could have been set up better. But there are a few details like, honestly, the minus is just because you're a bad person. That was good. Gameplay. No, okay, so these gates walling off the third would probably be the biggest. Like, if he shut down the Dark Templar or had the roaches in time, you're very vulnerable to a big counterattack. Like if he had an Overseer in a timely manner and didn't just forget his lair. So walling off the third makes it so you can actually defend. Well, so that is that. We've seen myself casting the same builds from today, 10 years ago. We've seen Terrans whining, and then Terrans trying not to show off, but still ending up stroking their ego anyways. We've seen Protoss who've been able to put together 1 to almost 2 sentences occasionally. We've seen Zerg players without really any sort of general plan, but just kind of, I'm hoping this is enough units. Rarely it is, but so another day, another marathon, and some more Angry Coach. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you to everyone for supporting during this, so at least we can have some positivity out there. But to most of you, shame on you. To the rest of you, thank you for participating. Like and subscribe. Good luck. Have fun. Say bye to YouTube, Twitch chat. To the ones who are still awake. Or yourself. Probably be covered up by the videos at the end. But, yeah. There you go. Goodbye.